Hello, welcome to the HomeBhoys Live podcast. It
Whoa!
is Friday the 12th of December. I'm, of course, Joe McKenna. We've started this show off with a big, massive echo of feedback. Welcome to the border of chaos and order, folks. That's the HomeBhoys podcast is. We are back. We're going to sift our way through what is either a living hell or a bit of a dramatic period. But I'm joined by a full squad for the first time in a long time, actually. Off the sick bench, Liam Power.
How are you, Joe? You're good?
Good. The people will be glad to hear your dulcet tones here.
My Christmas is ruined, so I thought I'd better come back on and try and rescue it.
Exactly. We need a voice of reason on this show. Too much madness. And of course, joined by Marty Flynn. Whose name tonight is Wilbert. What's that about?
Wilberto.
Wilberto.
I'm sitting here watching Top of the Pops 1988, and there's a very fucking apt song on at the minute. It's fucking by Steps, and it's a tragedy. It fucking sums up Celtic at the minute.
1988? I thought they were after
No
that.
chance.
1988.
Oh, 98, right? I thought you said 88.
Sorry, 98. Faithless are on there.
And of course, Jason Higgins at my show. It's happening.
Hello there. By the way, I was quite impressed with Longer's getting his Sunday name there, Joe. I was very impressed. Welcome back, Liam. Welcome back.
Government name.
That's where the niceness ends.
Is Russian embassy name?
And the hardest working man in the podcast game, Scottertees. What's happening? Silence. He's just going to fucking shit hanging here.
Go fuck yourselves. How's it going, guys? I'm all right, Joe. Thanks. I'm all right. I don't know how the hard was working, but I'll take it.
Oh, you're on more podcasts than most folk, right?
Well, all right.
You're a soldier in the trenches. Want to get down to that at some point. We'll talk about the Paul Quigley podcast later on. But, of course, given the season that it is, and this podcast is called Seasonal Joy, we need to do our duty and focus on the Christmas appeal, which is going gangbusters. Thank goodness. And we have already started distributing funds. And I have been out to Smith's several times this week to pick up tons of stuff. I've been getting more stuff. And we're kind of going to hand it over a bit to Marty Geldof to give us the impact speech, because we'd all just end up talking shit. And yeah, we just kind of want to give us an update on how things are going, where it's going, and how you can continue to help.
See, before you go out to Marty, Joe, why don't you Liam the groundbreaking revelation we had on the night with the spreadsheet?
That's where we should be fucking starting all right. Go ahead, Liam.
Yep. So I finally got my laptop working again after a long time out of action. Managed to reconcile all the transactions that have been going on through the appeal. So I think this is just really a massive reflection of the listeners. And as you said, Marty, many times the last few weeks, the incredible generosity of the listeners as well. So from the 3rd of December last year, where we started putting money out from last year's appeal, up until this week, we have given out £10,252 to lots and lots of different people who have really been in need. So 100% down to the generosity of people listening and sending money in, over £10,000 in the last calendar year, which I think is incredible.
Well done to that soul collection.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we've still got over £2,000 in the bank account, and we've got more money to come still from the Just Giving page or the GoFundMe page. We know there's collections going on, bonus balls and other things at the moment as well. So this is just the beginning for us, but what an incredible amount of money to put to good causes in such a short space of time. So just a huge thanks from all of us to everybody, and we'll keep on trying to put that money to work as best as we can, which Marty Geldof will cover for us now.
Well, we kind of learned our lesson from previous years, or I certainly did, because coming up to Christmas, I ended up hitting the head against the wall with like bank transfer fucking rules and daily limits and stuff like that. So we started taking the money out earlier, so that it was hitting the street earlier. So look, I'm looking after obviously the Belfast operation. Joe's doing Dublin and surrounding districts, and Jason and the boys over there are working with Royston Youth Action, so they can tell you their bits and pieces. From my perspective, I've put out money this week, several different things. We've once again funded St James's Community Farm, which if people don't know, I spoke about the farm before. Look them up on Facebook. They're absolutely amazing. Right, there was just a patch of disused land. It actually used to be when I was a kid where we would have fought with the loyalists at the boundary of the motorway coming into West Belfast, where the big balls are. For anybody who knows the balls on the falls that sit on top of the motorway, it's right there. And it would have been a source of conflict when we were kids. We would have ratted across the motorway when we were young. Cliftonville, Donegal, Celtic matches, all the kind of fighting would have taken place down around this area. It was fairly bad. At one point, the IRA actually had to come out and open fire across the motorway to kind of calm things down. So, a few years ago, a couple of enterprising locals led by Limbo Lindsay, who some of you might remember won BBC Sports Personality of the Year a few years back. Him, Bob Kelly, a couple of our head cases, absolute lunatics, just looked at this chunk of disused land on the edge of a bog and decided, no, what, we're going to put a farm here because there. In years gone by, the St James's district was actually the beginning of the countryside, and there would have been farms in the area. So you want to see this place now. They got like a huge purpose-built building. They've got sheep, fucking llamas. Well, that's it. Peacocks, all these different animals, ducks, sheep, goats, the whole lot, horses, and it's for working class children to get an appreciation of working with animals and bringing that bit of a countryside feel to the city. The work they do is unbelievable. They give away free produce, so the things like potatoes, and they put out appeals all the time for people. Do you know whenever you leave your fucking spuds lying in a cupboard and they start to grow, well they take them and then they repurpose them, replant them, and then they give away like cheap eggs and cheap vegetables and things like that to local families who they know are struggling. So it's just an incredible and absolutely brilliant grassroots community development. What we do for them is in the winter months, they have a bingo, um, like a bingo session for older people in the area, and it has been an absolute lifesaver over this last couple of years. It's getting older people maybe who aren't heating their homes into the farm, into the building. They play bingo with them, have a bit of crack, and like I'm not saying that the rig competitions, right? I'm not saying that. But competitions, I'm not. I'm Jason. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that they rig these competitions, right? But competitions take place as part of the wee bingo session, and meat parcels and stuff are part of the prizes, right? So it's really well done. It's very smart, and they're just great people. So Limbo has helped us a couple of times to identify some individuals who maybe need a wee bit of support as well. So a couple of £100 went down during the week for the support the bingo over the probably the month of January. I would imagine we're covered for same as last year, and then we also give a couple of bob as well just to help an individual that he identified. It's actually a senior citizen this year, wasn't previously, um, who just needed a bit of extra support. So that's been done. As well as that, I was at All Saints. All Saints School is me and Joe's old school. It's an amalgamation school now. It's not the same name as when me and Joe were there. All Saints it's one of the biggest schools in West Belfast, 1,000 kids. It has the highest number of newcomer kids coming from different backgrounds. It's got the highest number of free school meals, the highest number of children in contact with social services, the highest number of children in contact with the criminal justice system. In every marker, it meets the highest deprivation levels of any school in the north of Ireland, and the work that the staff do there is absolutely incredible. To the point that, about 2 3 years ago, they sent their first child to Oxbridge, one of them fucking wanky universities in England, and these are all kids from working class backgrounds, very difficult backgrounds. They do great stuff. So again, at Christmas time, they focus on the children and the families who are in real need, and they make hampers for them. And so we funded probably about 20 hampers for kids who are really their families are on the breadline. So we'll make sure that those kids get food over Christmas. And as I say, I spoke to the principal today, spoke to the vice principal today. Everything starts on Monday, and they told me to tell the listeners of the program that this will make an incredible difference this year. They were so appreciative. They were shocked, They were just really shocked. They were like, we can't believe this, my God. So it was a load of £100 sent down for that today. And they said, look, this all starts on Monday. This is great timing. We'll be out over the weekend getting the stuff, the hampers. We'll identify the kids on Monday and we'll start getting the ball rolling over the next week. They couldn't have been more thankful, for what you have done for them. As well as that, White Rock Family Centre put out an appeal yesterday. White Rock Family Centre is in the middle of Ballymurphy, which everybody knows, one of the biggest kind of Celtic areas of Belfast.
Yep.
And they are really struggling this year. They are really, the need is unbelievable. They're not able to meet the demand. And they put an appeal out on their Facebook page yesterday. And so I came in right away, showed it to the boys. Everybody's like, yep, Liam had money in my account within minutes. I was on the phone within a few more minutes to Deirdre Walsh, who runs the the children's centre, and she was again completely bowled over. I couldn't believe it. She was expecting me to be ringing her maybe with a toy or something like that. She couldn't believe that we were giving her hundreds of pounds, and the bank transfer was done within the hour, literally within the hour. And again, she was in total shock that it had happened. And we were like just go ahead, if there's anything we can do, let us know, blah blah blah. But she just couldn't have been more thankful. And she spoke to me for maybe 10 minutes just about how bad it is. I don't want to get into anything like that because we're keeping it on a kind of a happy vibe because we're doing such good work. So look, again, it's just another example of our listeners really impacting at this time of year and helping people on the ground. And for me, it's a source of pride that we can do it in West Belfast. It's absolutely brilliant. And then finally, we identified a family this year. I have to be really, really careful what I say because this family's situation is so unique. I don't want to identify them, and if I say too much, everybody will know who I'm talking about in Belfast. So I don't want to get into it. But basically, it's a mother and father with 4 kids. The eldest child and the youngest child have really, really, really severe health issues. So again, the boys on here all know about it. Shared the story last week that somebody had identified that we're giving that family £400 for Christmas, so it's £100 for each child in the family. We were working through an intermediary, a person in the middle. I spoke to her today, and the money's way over to the family tonight. And the daddy of the family said to me, look, listen, look, I know we're struggling. So sorry, the daddy of the family said to the intermediary who spoke to me and told me that the daddy of the family said, look, I know we're really struggling, but there'll be people worse than us. Give it to somebody worse than us. To which he said, absolutely not. This is coming to you. You deserve it. We know you need it. It's not a problem. It's been set aside. So again, that kind of humility is just heartbreaking. I mean, this is a family who could be doing with tens of thousands of pounds worth of support, and we're able to give them 400 quid. So we give them £100 for each child, and as I say, the top child and the bottom child, especially the bottom child, especially the youngest child, their health is just really a real issue, and that child probably won't have too many Christmases left. So for the homeboys to be able to hand over an envelope tonight with just a few bob on it, it's not £1,000, it's not £1,000,000, but I know that will make a big difference in that household this Christmas if it's putting the dinner on the table or if it's putting stockings worth of stuff out. I'm telling you now, I promise the listeners of the Homeboys, every single £5, £2, £3, £4, £100, £250. Some people have put hundreds of pounds into this appeal, but every single pound that we shake out of this will make a difference. And as Liam said earlier on, there's £10,000 has already gone out just in the 12 months here, just last year. That's not even counting previous years. So thanks to all the listeners, thanks to everybody who's give praises, because I think Joe's going to go through the list of praises later. They're unbelievable yet again, and you're talking about tens of thousands of pounds worth of praises just for this year. Just for this year. It's been staggering, really. And we'll love you all. Thank you all very much.
Brilliant.
Happy for all of that.
Can I, Marty, that was amazing. Can you just mention a couple of other things, Jason? Obviously, you've just sent a photo through. I don't know if you want to talk about that one before I cover one as well.
Aye, well, I can do obviously the three that we can do it. So from the Glasgow perspective, 2 amazing charities. One we've been supporting for years, Royston Youth Action. stone's throw for Celtic Park, and we've been giving them a donation like every year, and it's so appreciative. And the letter we got was brilliant, you know, just to say thank you so much. And then also this year we gave a donation to the Rosemount Lifelong Learning Centre. So that's been greatly appreciated as well. And then just with fate, I got a text there, and I shared it in our group chat. My good pal Anne Francis, who's in the Tommy Gemmell committee with me, and me and her were at primary school together. She does loads of charity work, and she put a wee thing on Facebook a few weeks ago about St Peter's Chapel. They're getting 4 of the local schools in, and just to give them wee gifts and stuff like that. So I said to the boys, I says, look, and then I phoned her up, and she says, oh, some of these kids have got absolutely nothing, you know, and it's like a crying shame. So she just sent us a photo there with a few pound that we sent her across, the gifts that she's got for the lunch, the breakfast that they're all going to get, and they're all going to get like gifts. The kids, when they come in, each one of the kids is going to get gifts, and that's thanks to the listeners here. So brilliant, just amazing. And she just texts me back, and she's like, just keep spreading, sprinkling the magic dust everywhere, and that's all we're trying to do. And as I say, it's all down to the listeners. We can't do it without you, and it's all gifts. I mean, the prizes are all gifted to us, and the money's all gifted to us. So it's just, we're in a privileged position that we can actually do this. But it would honestly break your heart when you read our group chat and some of the fantastic causes that Marty's sort of went into. And we don't really go into the individuals. We help groups out where they're trusted groups to us, so we know the money's going to the right places, and they're doing the donkey work for us, but we're happy to provide the cash for it on behalf of you guys. But also there's very many individuals that we identify and they never ever get spoke about, and I think that's the fair way to do it, and we can just make people's Christmases that a little bit better. And it's big thanks to everybody.
Yeah.
Brilliant, right? Brilliant. Just the last one is just, obviously we've supported other initiatives before, like Andy Pinger's Walk and Talk, and this year we've just chucked a bit of money into the Huddersfield Crisis Fund as well. So there's a small group of people doing some really good work there, looking after people. So we were happy to chuck a bit of money that way as well to help that group, which will no doubt be busy as we approach Christmas. So spreading the money as far and wide as we can. Yeah,
I mean, I suppose on my end, in terms of like, I've already like I go out, the contacts that I have, I suppose, in the community work that I'm involved in, is kind of reliant on a number of people, a bit of a network. There's one making a main person that I deal with, who has a kind of a position that allows them to reach into like a large network of, I suppose, disadvantaged families and people that work there. So across the money that I've been sending, like there's 5 families overall being supported at the minute, plus one individual who I know locally who has had a really rough time the last 4 or 5 months. So again, like, I mean, like over 10 grand the past 12 months, and like there's no, this is about as direct giving as you can get, I think. I mean, the money goes from you folks to us, and it goes directly into the hands of the people that need it, or that are going to utilize it on behalf of people that they know. And it's it's a wonderful time of year to do this sort of thing. It astounds us, it blows us away every year. Yeah. Like, I mean, we start off with absolutely fucking nothing, and then we wind up sitting here at Christmas going,
I know.
See,
when we start the appeal, you're going, we'll maybe get a grand. People will be getting fed up with it now. Do you know what I mean? You're saying we've had a right good run at it, but we'll maybe get about £1,000. If we got £1,000, it's £1,000 that's going to good causes. You know, that would be amazing. But it just blows us away, and we're kind of nearly at the £5,000 mark now, aren't we, Joe?
Actually, if you consider some money that's coming in, not through the GoFundMe, through Dale, the legend, it puts us over £5,000 already. So unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, it's
and here, the more you give, the more we just keep going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If there's anybody there who has a spare fiver, I know payday for most people isn't until next week. But if you've got a £5 or £4 sitting handy and it's lying there, wang it in. We'll keep going.
Wang it in.
Wang it in back. Fucking wanger in there.
Let's get down to what you won or what you could win. What you could have won. Let's do a bit of bullseye here.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
The
So here we go. I'll read out what I sent to the lads. HomeBhoys Celtic Christmas Appeal 2025 praise list. Get ready, boys and girls. This year's raffle hall is absolutely stacked.
See, before we go, Joe, when are we going to do the draw?
We're just talking about that, maybe the 22nd or 23rd of December.
Okay.
Right. So here we go. In no particular order, but kind of in categories. We've got a signed Celtic home shirt from this season, signed by the full team just last week. Also got last season's signed Celtic strip, generously redonated. 2 Club Celtic tickets for the home game versus Livingston, 11th of February. An Adelante lounge matchday ticket, hospitality experience for 1 lucky winner. Creole Golf Club outing for 3 breakfast roads and coffee, 18 holes on Balcomie or Balcony? What is it? Balcony?
Balcony, I think.
Balcony.
Or Craighead. Pardon me. Plus lunch and drinks, date arranged to suit the winner. Helen Clark bespoke Celtic Canvas, Highland Co edition. Celtic Canvas art wall mural. Home gig from Rebel Band of Coolies, your own private session. Gwyneth Paltrow Goop beauty basket worth $1,500. Ladies Gucci wrist bag worth about 700 quid. Oakley Meta smart sunglasses, prescription if needed, also worth about 600-700 quid. £40 athletic club Beersden voucher, courtesy of Mark Ferrier. 3 loaded fire sticks, 5 12-month TV prescriptions, and 6 Dale 6-month subs. Plus also a tricolor keffia donated by PJ McNamara, good friend of the show. And Jason, you're going to talk about the final prize that we have in the raffle.
Yep. So, as you all know, well, some of you don't know, I'm in the committee for the Tommy Gemmell Community Project. So, first and foremost, it's about getting a statue erected in Tommy and my hometown, Craignook. And it's nearly there. The groundworks are flying along and the statue is nearly built. And all we need to do is get the statue up for Stoke-on-Trent, get the wall finished, and get the statue erected. So we're looking at early, not too early, but we're looking at Q1 on next year, 2026, date to be finalised. So as part of the design, what we've did is we've created a wall and we're selling bricks for it. So the bricks there's 2 prices, there's £100 and £150. So basically, if you buy the £100 one, you get the brick with your message inscribed on the wall. And if you pay the £150, you get the similar for in your house as well. So you'll get the same stone slate for in your house. So we spoke to the designers, etc. And we've came to the arrangement now that there is only 70 bricks left and we're closing it at Christmas Eve. So they're kind of flying it. So if anybody wants it, go to Tommy Gemmell Community Project and you can order a brick. But as part of this, we thought it would be really good to offer 4 bricks out as prizes. So we're going to add it in to the raffle. So if you're successful in the raffle, doesn't matter if you're for Australia, whatever, we'll contact you quick and get the message that you're looking for. We'll give you the amount of digits that you're allowed to use, etc. And your name will be forever on the wall of Tommy Gemmell's statue that's getting erected in Craignook. Obviously, the only Scotsman ever to score in 2 European Cup finals, numerous honours, and just an absolute legend. So it's something that's really close to my heart. So we've decided we're going to add, and it obviously puts money into the community project. So bearing in mind, first and foremost, it's getting the statue up, but then going forward, it will be a community project that's for everybody in the local area. And basically, the community project will just be doing stuff similar to what we're doing just now. So it's something I'm very proud to be involved in as well. So yeah, that's going to be a prize. So I think that's an amazing prize. But as I say, if anybody wants to buy them, you need to get in quick because once Christmas Eve, I think it's Christmas Eve, we're stopping it because we need to, when the wall's getting built, the bricks need to be put on the wall. So there will be no opportunity because we need to design it so that it's equilateral across the walls that are surrounding the statue. So there is only a limited amount of bricks, and once they're gone, and there will be no more bricks. It's not like Celtic Park, they'll open up an extra bit and you can start putting more bricks on it. The way the wall's getting built, the bricks are going to be cemented into the wall. That's it, done. So that'll be a lifetime keepsake for you. And it'll be something when you come and visit the statue, you'll be able to see your own bricks. So I think that's an amazing prize as well. So thanks to the guys for paying for it. I'm sure I will do.
And Jason, I think it's really important because obviously a lot of what we do is one-off. You know, we give people some money, it helps them for a short-term, solution for them. But this is going to be a lifetime legacy for people. That'll be there for a long, long time. So it'd be nice to have something to reflect back on.
Definitely, mate.
There, did you mention that picture that was sent in our group chat?
Which one?
The fucking one Jason sent in.
Oh, he just talked about a minute ago.
That's what I spoke about.
No, my wee lad, get out. He's back in here. Get out the fuck. That's why I missed you because face is here. Okay, Brad. Hurry up, get out.
Superstar, Marty.
Superstar, my whole close that door. Dread.
Aye, so I mentioned that was Anne Francis, obviously, when I was talking about St. Peter's Chapel. So that's everything that she got with the money that he donated.
Absolutely brilliant.
And she just sent it to me while we were talking about it. It's uncanny.
When you see something like that, like the palette of stuff, you're like, holy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I sent you the picture sitting right next to me, Ryan. Look at this here, right?
I know.
Sitting right next to me.
Brilliant.
It's all the fucking. This is just the fraction of the shit that I've got this week. Just fucking boxes of fucking toys, bags of fucking toys, a Squishmallow arrived in the fucking post today. Fucking magnetic shit, just a big stack of fucking shit I've got here, plus vouchers and stuff, and just amazing to be doing this.
Very interesting fact from Sean Butler in the chat room where he says it's a little known fact, but Gwyneth Paltrow made one of them smelly candles that smell like her box when lit.
She did. That's true. She did.
Really?
She made a candle that smells like her own vagina. That's true.
There you are. Muff candles.
Well, that's what you could be winning, troops.
There you go.
Get your fivers in.
Your fucking hallway smelling like fucking Gwyneth Paltrow's fucking gooch.
Fuck me, wow.
Joe,
where else are you gonna get these kind of praises, folks?
That's what I'm saying, Joe. Oh, the gizzard.
I'm gonna go, Joe. I'm gonna go tomorrow and get the glasses off Sean. I'm gonna pop up and see him tomorrow and get the glasses. And I was bowled up. Hold
on. Before we move on, Sean, what a show last week. I was gutted I wasn't on. I wasn't on it. It's the one time I really, really, really regretted not being on the Homeboys. Was last week. If there's anyone who did not listen to last week's program, go back and listen to it. It was awe-inspiring. Absolutely. To hear one man make such a difference. 55,000 eye tests. My God, like it was so life-affirming, brilliant, and totally in the spirit of Celtic. I was so glad that Liam will tell you. I asked Liam for Sean's number last week and sent him a message and apologised for me not being on the show. It's one that I genuinely regret not being there for. And I shared it far and wide. And if anybody missed last week's programme, go and listen to the first half an hour. Yeah. You don't have to listen to the rambling shade of these other fuckers for the rest of it, but see that first half an hour, it was wonderful. Absolutely.
I've listened to him a few times, Marty, back going like,
I should have.
Revisit that going like, hi fucking, just the story, the journey. A guy that's obviously done very well for himself, just going, I wanna put like just like us that want to put good
and the kindness of Sean for supporting our appeal. Like he could be supporting his own appeal, but he's helping the Homeboys. Like just a tremendous guy. Liam had spoken to him about us before, or had spoken about him to us before, but actually hearing him tell us what the ins and outs of his project was and the amount, like tens of thousands of lives that he has affected in communities with much less resources than we would ever dream of, you know. So I just think that needs to be said. We should all stop and pause, I think, and like in the spirit of Celtic, if you were talking about the spirit of Celtic, that was encapsulated in one individual, It was fabulous. And Sean, I know you're listening tonight, mate. God bless you. I've promised I've told him I'll buy him buy a set of sunglasses off him to help him. Because we should be all living in a virtuous circle. Good stuff should get shared. So
you're also a spitty cunt. I mean.
Well, this is what I'm fucking saying. You know what I mean? Fuck's sake. I mean, I'm the sort of fucker. This is it. But in my eyes, it's fucking. It's not all because of self-abuse either. Like it's fucking. Like it's my eyes are shit. So if I lived in one of those communities, I'd be going, Sean, fuck me. You know what I mean? So I understand how difficult I see it is. And in fact, I told him my ma got her last cataract removed 3 weeks ago. So it's a process to have that done here, especially with the state of the NHS. But for that, particularly the story about the little child who was basically fucking cast aside. He's dumb, and it just turned out the child had cataracts, and that's all it took to open up the world for that child's life. Listen, folks, I don't even want to spoil it. If you missed last week's program, go back and fucking listen to it.
I text several people after he'd gone, going, "You need to fucking when this goes out, you need to check it out because it's amazing."
I did it too. I shared it into loads of WhatsApp groups and I put it on the huddle board and says, "Look, if you don't listen to anything else, you don't have to listen to us. If you're not into our rambling shit, that's fine." But that story last week was just outstanding, incredible. A guy who is absolutely clearly one of us. Just one of us. Could be standing beside him in a bar, having a yarn. You could be sitting beside him at Celtic Park. Tremendous. Really,
that was the point I was trying to make. I rocked up there last year, never met him in my life, just had a text to say, I've got some glasses for you. I found his place up in East Kilbride, and a nicer, more down-to-earth guy you would not meet, honestly. It was incredible.
See, apart from that, Liam, it was actually really timely because Celtic have banned, we'll probably come to this later on, but Celtic have banned fan media from the what do you call it? The press conferences and stuff at Celtic Park, which is their want. If they want to do it, that's fine. But I've seen some Celtic fans this last couple of weeks being less than generous when it comes to that sort of thing. Saying, who the fuck the fan media think they are anyway? Rocking up, talking a load of shit. And I shared some of the comments that I'd seen with users, and I hit them up the fucking face with that podcast last week. Absolutely hit them up the face with them. There's the sort of stories the fan media is unearthing that no one would ever hear. And like we spoke before, we've always been very gracious, I suppose, when it comes to Celtic. Going to press conferences really isn't our thing. It's really not. But we appreciated the fact that we were included by the powers that be at Celtic Park, and we were allowed, we were offered, to come along to the press conferences. It's not really what we do. We just fucking ramble shit at night when we're full. You know what I mean? So, but what we did do actually was identify a young person who's trying to break through into the media, and we helped them and gave them access. That access has now been stopped, which is a fucking absolute disgrace. It's a disgrace through no fault of their own or nothing that we did. That has just been turned off. So some of our fans want to fucking have a word with themselves. And as I say, that podcast last week was so timely because I challenged some of them with that podcast. And said, tell them, what the fuck, what could you possibly object to here? Like if you don't like my views, that's fine. Or you don't like Jason's views, that's fine. Or Scott, or Joe, or Liam, or Harper, that's fine.
Everybody likes my views, for fuck's sake.
I like your views, mate.
The universal soldier. He's the universal soldier.
But we're actually helping young people from a Celtic background make their way in the world through silly things like this. It's not a big deal. We weren't making use of it, so we tried to help someone else with it, And so just because somebody took a fucking...
And when we sent a young lad, it went viral.
No, exactly. And previously, and I used the example of Liam Scales, the time I spoke to Liam Scales in Gaelic, and the absolute, the impact that made, and particularly in Ireland, was unbelievable.
Marty,
what was it, 500,000 views or something, Joe?
Marty,
I don't remember.
On our Twitter, I've got it somewhere. I sent it to Celtic.
So anyway, for somebody who has
nothing, we've never had a bigger response.
For somebody who,
maybe
people who didn't listen to it at the time, it was a couple of years ago when Liam Scales signed we got access to the press conference as fan media, and I asked the question to Liam Scales in Gaelic. It was the first time the Irish language or Scottish Gaelic, for that matter, have been used in those confines in Celtic Park at a press conference. First time ever. The reaction was absolutely unbelievable. Like hundreds of thousands of views, shared so widely.
Yeah.
It made Celtic look great. You know, it made Celtic look so, open and
Irish speaking accounts in America and Australia and all that thrown
All around the world. We've never had a
it
bigger
was
response to anything.
It was powerful. And some of our fucking fans are decrying fan media. So they're up there talking shit and asking crap questions and stuff like that. So last week when that podcast went out about the eyesight stuff, I hit them up the face with Liam Scales. And not, as you would imagine, it disappeared then. When you were the bullshit festival fucking ground to a halt. So anyway, sorry Liam for interrupting you.
No, it's cool.
no.
The one thing I wanted to say was just Sean only told you half the story. Right, there's loads more, and I won't spoil it. Right, you can tell it in his own words. We're definitely getting back on after Christmas.
I told him to come back on. He's actually come back on, right?
Yeah, we're getting back. I spoke to him. He's like, I was dead nervous. I said, Sean, you spoke so well. You were dead, calm, chilled out. I thought he did really well, but he's got a whole other story to tell as well on the back of the work he's done. So we're getting back on, and we'll keep an eye on what he's doing and kind of see where we can help him and support him moving forward.
I told him I'd go out next year if he's going.
Yeah, I didn't know what he wanted to say. That's what I was alluding to, Joe. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I can't imagine the possibilities. I would jump at that, mate. Jump at that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
See, back to Marty's point. See the centres. They have got a point. To be honest with you, and you need to explain it. Who the fuck do we think we are? Spending about 120 quid each a year to host this platform and sharing $5,000 out to good causes every year. And
balls on us.
Balls on us. Enjoying ourselves. We've got fucking no right.
I know. Who do we think we are?
I do
think they are.
I do have a few pints and enjoy ourselves. Fuck's sake.
Right, Ray, it cuts us to the bone as well when we get negative press. It's fucking terrible.
I'm sick of writing them checks, fucking refunds for the subscriptions all the time. Fuck's sake.
Oh man, do you know I love this time of year, but I'm not loving this period, but I love this time of year because this is what we talk about. I suppose this is one of the positives. I suppose overall is that we get to spend our time talking about these things and these good things, and everybody else who's involved in this show is involved in all these good things, and I suppose that enhances the seasonal period for us. So we're very, very fucking lucky, folks. Like, we're all very lucky. Everybody involved in this is very lucky to be able to be part of what we're doing.
It's a totally humbling process, Joe. Like, I have to say, and as I say, I was speaking to the intermediary there earlier, and she told me that the daddy from the family just kept saying, but there's people worse off than us. There's people worse off than us. Do you know what I mean? This is a family who absolutely need a wee bit of a hand. Fucking hell, that they're saying that they're looking down the pipe and going, there's people who could be helped too. Oh, fuck me. I don't know. Anyway,
we're avoiding a little fuck. Let's
right, well, here, in podcast terms, this is the part where we've climbed up to the top of the roller coaster, right? And we've got to the top, we're like, yeah! And all of a sudden now we're going to fucking plummet.
This is where we take the seatbelts off at the top of the roller coaster.
It's about to get spacey. So we had our last podcast. I think it might have been December 7th. December 7th. Which would have been last week. That's true. You're right, Jason. That's good. Fucking, you know what? We're some team. So since then, we've had Hearts and we've had Roma. And basically what we had then was the Wilfred Nancy announcement, unveiling the PR tour, the press conferences, the speeches, all that stuff. And I don't really know where to start this conversation because we're going to end up leading to the current moment. But I suppose, where do we start this? Do we start this just at Hearts? Or do we start this at the kind of him being presented to the fans and being like, what's our first impressions?
No clue.
Anywhere you want.
They have. Right. See, for a kick-off, right? Scott made a great point in the chat. Was Wilfred Nancy was sort of presented to the fans. It wasn't really. There's been no press conference. There's been no welcoming. There's been no nothing. You know, think of all the other managers, apart from Martin O'Neill, because obviously that was a stopgap. Any other manager that comes into Celtic gets paraded for the fans, and then, you know, there's a press conference, and they ask them questions, and you start finding out about them. It was a hashed interview with Jerry McCulloch and a few snippets of him in Lennoxtown. It was as if we were still in lockdown, the way Celtic approached this. And they've still never had an official press conference to welcome him to the club. So, from that perspective, obviously Celtic's banned fan media. They've kind of circled the wagons, and they're in a bit of a siege mentality as a club. So I think straight off the bat, everybody jump in here, by the way, if I'm being wrong, but straight off the bat, I think Wilfred Nancy has been dealt a bit of a shit hand.
Yeah.
Because of the situation Celtic are in at the minute. Compared to any his predecessors, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. I totally listen. I think he looks and sounds like a cracking big cunt. He seems like a decent guy. He's got a clear way of working. He's got a clear vision about what he wants to do. I listened to a lot of podcasts before he came along, and they all seem pretty positive, albeit most of them from a different environment from what we operate in football-wise. But, you know, people spoke very highly of him as in a coach, a vision, you know, dedicated to what he wants to do. So, I was pretty positive, and I still really hope he does well. But just, I think he's coming in, like you said, he's coming into a club that's completely fractured just now. I think he's coming into a club that's got a completely incompetent exec in charge that I think they're just winging it as they go along. I think the support are split, despondent. You know, it's kind of like there's so much going on off the pitch. I feel really sorry for the guy, I'll be honest with you. I think he's coming in at such a difficult time. Coming in mid-season is really difficult anyway. Coming into a club where he's the third manager in 6 or 7 weeks. That's so difficult on the players and the manager as well. And for me, you know, we were chatting away earlier, obviously, but to bring that guy in knowing he's got a set way of playing, a set system, set structure, set formation, you know, I don't see where you're finding the players from on the current available players we've got that can even remotely try and fill that formation for him. So it feels like he's on a hide into nothing. He could have come in and done the sensible thing and just stuck to the way we were playing under Martin O'Neill and just gradually put that in. And it was really interesting listening to the pod after the event, after the first game, the way you guys were all talking very positively about him, which was the right thing to do. And I think we all had a bit of assurance by the fact that he said he wasn't going to change things dramatically, just a little bit of tinkering here and there. And then obviously when that first team sheet came out against Hearts, it was pretty evident where he was going. So I think that's the bit of criticism I've got of him, is that he's set himself up there a little bit by saying one thing and doing something completely different. And that might just be complete confidence in what he's doing. Maybe that's the only way he can do it. He needs to come in and assert himself and put himself forward. But he's got himself, you know, off to a really poor start by doing that. And, you know, 2 difficult games, 2 big defeats and big games at home. Sunday is such a big game for him. You know, it's not the end for him if we don't win Sunday, not at all, but it's a fucking long way to climb back up if things don't go well on Sunday. But I've got a lot of sympathy for him personally. I think he's come into a really difficult situation, but he's probably not helped himself with that first decision, but maybe that's the only way to do it in his mind.
Yeah. All right. So I think everybody should follow Liam's lead and give your thoughts on how it's started, etc. you want to go, Joe, or Marty, or Scott? Anybody?
Yeah, I think we've lost Marty. I don't know if Scott can still hear us or Joe.
Sorry, I was muted there. Scott, I want to hear from Scott.
Okay, now, right. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Everything Liam says is common sense. Right, so our natural, it's a tough one because your emotions and your thoughts and your ideologies are all around the shop. I would have played it safe. I understand why he didn't. I've been saying recently that I don't really want a philosophy manager. That's what it looks like we've got. So we kind of have to suck it up. I think he could have made it easier for himself. Martin O'Neill ultimately is the one guy who's no made an arse of something this year. And I'm talking about the board, I'm talking about Brendan Rodgers, I'm talking about Wilfred Nancy. Everybody's made an arse of it somewhere apart from Martin O'Neill. Martin O'Neill came in and he's made the job almost harder for the boy. I don't know. Why did we not appoint him in the international thing, and then he gets 2 weeks to try to learn things. However, you may not have got the Martin O'Neill bounce and the Martin O'Neill wins. I don't know. Like I said, so I was if you guys will remember, I was giving Brendan Rodgers a lot of slack in terms of how his style had changed for last season with regards Kieran Tierney came in, Greg Taylor had left, you've sold your outlets in terms of Kuhn, Maida's fell off a cliff. But the fact of the matter is Brendan Rodgers' time was done. I don't think there was ever a point that Brendan Rodgers was going to get that team back on side. It was gone. It definitely looked like he'd lost the dressing room. What we've got to remember, as well as Martin O'Neill's done results-wise, performance wasn't great. However, I'll put that to the side. The guys that we're watching the new are the same guys that have stank the place out since the beginning of the season. The same guys. I mean, do you know what I've got a feeling, right? And I'd like to know your opinion on that. See, watching Maida last night, Maida looked like a guy when the pressure was taken off him when Martin O'Neill came in and Martin O'Neill just gave him basics. And I think Hattati almost gets that. I think they all relaxed because Brendan Rodgers is such an all-encompassing, I want this, I want this, I want this, I want this. And Martin O'Neill came in and went, no, I just want this. I mean, I don't know if you ever remember when Harry Redknapp took over Tottenham and Raphael van der Vaart went, it's great, we don't do tactics, we just kind of train. And I think Martin O'Neill maybe done that. He kind of took the pressure off. And then we brought in Wilfred Nancy, who's now put, I need this. And the pressures are put back on. And I think Maida's head's out the door. I really do. I mean, last night was his, forget what Marty used to say with regards Maida and because it's been proved now last season was a green spell for him. Everything was working for him, and we're kind of almost reverting to type with some of the things he's doing this season. But last night was possibly the worst I've seen him. I think there's a wee bit of sympathy for him, which will come to once we come to the game. But I think Wilfred Nancy's challenging guys that don't really want to be challenged at this point. And that's how he really needs his own guys in. I don't think it was ever logically ever going to happen that we were going to bring him in and we were going to put him in the back burner until Martin O'Neill kind of gets to a point. If we think about that in practical terms, that was never going to fucking happen. Should we have kind of backtracked when Martin O'Neill was getting things right? That's an argument as well. But The boy's been interviewed, and he's told people, this is what I do. And everybody seems shocked when he's come in and he started doing it. Know what I mean? So my answer's all around the shop because honestly, my head's all around the shop. I don't think it's fair, the crap he's getting. He's 8 days in the gig. 8 fucking days. Give me peace. I mean, this is how when we all get jobs, we get 6-month trial periods. 8 days. He's no helping himself. I get that, but there needs to be some common sense. There needs to be. That's basically it. I like I say, boys.
Yeah.
I'm on the show there.
You've definitely covered the spectrum there, Scott.
No, I know, mate.
Of all of our kind of emotions, though, I think, in fairness.
I think everybody's all over the shop. So I kind of know. Joe, you go next. What do you think, Joe?
I agree with a lot of what Scott said. I feel like one that's very.
Joe, we can't hear you. You're awake?
I can hear him.
Yeah,
I can't hear him. Right, that's fine.
I'll fuck you off then, and then I'll bring you back on.
Can't hear me? Fuck off then.
Check guess. Come back, Liam. Come back in. You can't hear me. Fuck him.
Liam, come back. This is like an operation we're running here, troops.
Anyway, the point is, right? The point I'm trying to make is, listen, there's some very evidential, factual, real life things that this guy is going to have to fucking deal with, which is extreme scrutiny in everything he does as soon as he walks in the door. Right? I do agree that the fanfare put around other managers wasn't kind of put around this guy. I do get a feeling that the appointment of this guy was done more so that somebody could be seen to be doing their job properly rather than actually, bringing this guy in at a suitable time. I do think that going from Rodgers, who style had become abrasive at the end of things, probably among the club and probably among the players too, to go from that to essentially a grandfather vibe of Martin O'Neill, who's nothing more than motivational and encouraging to players and young players as well, and gets something extra out of people because of the way that he is. To go from that to then a new guy at a very crucial time in the league period at this time of the season, to a guy who's coming in, and I can't gauge whether he's a kind of fucking with an iron fist guy or whether he's a arm and the shoulder guy. Nobody can gauge that. He's only in the door. But again, that would tell you that we don't really know as much about him as we probably would like to know, because again, fan media has been banned, and there hasn't really been an awful lot of sort of expose on him. It has been very kind of short shrift, and yeah, and all those things add up to just a level of worry, a percentage of worry within me that makes me uncomfortable enough to be cautious. That's about the best way I can put my feelings. So, but listen, at the end of the day, Jason, you said it best in our chat. Get behind this guy. That's all there is to do. Get behind him.
Is Wilbur back on you?
Wilbur's back. He's muted. I don't know if he knows how to unmute, but I can't do it for him.
Come on, Wilbur.
Coming to the barn.
So I'll go
here. I didn't know I was on mute. I was telling Liam to redial in there and fuck him in the go.
Right, you go, Marty. On you go, mate. Rory's making sandwiches here and there's hats running and all that shit. Right, go.
I'm gonna annoy Scott. Right, I'm not one bit fucking impressed with this appointment whatsoever. I see nothing in this guy that marks him out as a Celtic manager. He's coming into a fucking absolute shitstorm, which is wild. But that's where you really need an experienced manager to come in, and not some fucking guy who's Tisdale's mate, which is basically who he is. And Tisdale's a fucking absolute goat. Fell asleep sitting in the fucking stand last week, made a cunt out of himself on Sky TV Live, and Wilfred Nancy is his mate. That's how he's got this job. So I'm not impressed. I'm here to be impressed. I wanted him to come in and blow us all away. He's looked ridiculous so far. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. I'm getting complete Tony Mowbray vibes off this fucking season, and I don't expect him to last. Do you know what I mean? So you can be all happy clappy and giving all the support you like. That's absolutely fine. As I say, I'm here to be impressed. I wouldn't be one bit fucking surprised if we lose at the weekend, if we lose on Sunday, because we're shite at defending corners. Do you know what I mean? Put a fucking man on the post, you stupid cunt. And I've no idea why he's playing three players at the back, because it's so easy to exploit. Everybody knows when a team is struggling, you shut up at the back and you hope for the best at the front. Scott was saying there about Maida stinking the place out. I was actually told today Maida's staying. He won't be going in January. He's decided to stay, which would make complete sense from a family point of view. Doesn't want to move his kids, whatever the fuck else. I don't know if that's the case, but I was told today he's not going. So he's going to be here, and therefore he's one of the players that you really need to make the most out of, because he, no matter what I think of him, he is one of our better players, without a doubt. Iheanacho coming back's good. Don't know why he's been left on the bench the last couple of games. Seems crazy to me when we're struggling to score, you know. And as I say, I'm not impressed with this appointment at all. It smacks of this fucking board and the way they run the place. And I don't expect this guy to be a success here. I genuinely hope I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, I will eat all the humble pie that can be put in front of me. But I was told today he went in, read the Riot Act to the dressing room, and it didn't go down well. So, as I say, how can we move from a position of an old guy who hasn't been a manager in years turning up and getting us firing on at least 4 out of the 5 cylinders? Wasn't perfect, but he made us kind of compete domestically. So looking at this going, we're fucked, because that's exactly how I feel. I just feel we're fucked at the minute, and I'd rather think what sort of players are going to come in January, to be honest, because we were talking about it earlier on. The merchandise thing is obviously taking a hit. The not one more penny is clearly working. People were talking about the sports bar for the match last night, which is a good kind of, it's a good valve to see where we are. It's usually bunged and you can't get into it by a certain time. I was told last night you could have walked into the place no bother at any time before kickoff. So our board are the type of people that will just look at that and go, well, we're going to lose 10 million this year, so let's just cut the budget. Instead of actually saying, well, we need to achieve, let's spend the budget and make sure that we're where we should be in football terms. So I am entirely pessimistic about the whole thing. And as I say, I was out last night with a disabled friend who I never see, and I didn't watch a minute of the match. I watched the highlights this morning and was texting you guys when I was watching the highlights, and wasn't really surprised by the result, to be honest. Do you know what I mean?
Well, that was a swifter descent than I was expecting.
That's just, look, who is this fucking guy? He's managed in America. He's Paul Tisdale's mate. They met a couple of years ago to, wherever the fuck they were, and Tisdale's obviously went to bat for him. And the club have appointed Tisdale, so they're backing him because he's their boy. Right? There's nothing in either of those persons' backgrounds that fills me with any sort of confidence that they know anything about football. And the fucking state of us since Martin O'Neill left, I think, just proves it. Now, Scott's saying there he's only had a couple of matches. That's fine, and things may turn around. I may could be completely wrong. Totally wrong. But I'm not fucking sure I am, to be honest. We needed an experienced manager to come in, pull that team together and say, we're going to batten down the hatches to January, and here's the additions we're going to make. We didn't need some guy coming in on a fucking Friday and telling us we're going to stick with the system that's here because the players are playing okay, and then completely change the system and sit playing fucking tiddlywinks on the fucking bench, making a
So,
cunt out of himself.
to be fair, he didn't say he would stick with the system. He says he wouldn't make many changes.
Well, he made wholesale changes. He changed
Aye,
the entire system.
I get that, but he didn't say he would stick with the system.
And
So
he's
that-
and he's and he's exposing players who don't need to be exposed. Players like Kieran Tierney. And you've got 3 centre backs. We've had this conversation before with your 2 centre backs. Why do you need 1 centre back who's left footed and 1 centre back who's right footed when loads of times you just play 2 right footed centre backs? But we're playing three left footed centre backs in a back 3. And if you remember, I was actually advocating moving Kieran Tierney centre back about 3 months ago, saying he wouldn't have to do the running he's doing. He can read the game, blah blah blah. But it leaves putting him on the 3 leaves the flank totally exposed.
Aye, but we're getting into specifics now, which that was now the point of this. But I think you've made your views very clear, and you might be
100%.
right, mate. You might be right.
I hope I'm wrong. By the way, I
No, I know
genuinely
you do.
hope I'm wrong.
Right. So I think it's fair what you said, Marty, right? And loads of Celtic fans will feel exactly the same. I think it's fair what everybody says. And Scott kind of put it eloquently that he's all over the shop. And I think every Celtic fan is all over the shop now. Nobody's got a fucking clue what's going on. But for a kick-off, I don't think he was Tisdale's mate. It's that Kwame Ampadu. That's Tisdale's mate. Is it no? Is it no? He's assistant. I think the Tino worked Tisdale no work with him.
Yeah, that's where I think the link is then too. Yeah.
So it's no him, but at the end of the day, your point's still valid. And as far as we know, or what we can actually see, what Tisdale's done so far, he's a fucking disaster. But he's obviously a yes man for Desmond, and they've put their trust in him. Just like everybody at Celtic's a yes man for Desmond. So on that basis, I totally agree with you, Marty, because we've just got a guy here, like we do with every managerial appointment. I'm pretty sure there was no interviews at all for this job. This guy was just picked to be our manager because someone within the club had bent Desmond's ear and he believed him. I don't think there'd be. I might be wrong. They might have interviewed five.
No, you're right. It was Tisdale.
Aye,
they worked together before, so you're spot on.
Aye. So, but when you look back at Celtic, Neil Lennon, Gordon Strachan's at fucking Cheltenham, and Desmond's in a box next to him. Do you want to come and manage Celtic? Martin O'Neill, Dermot picked the phone up to me. Brendan Rodgers, Dermot picked the phone up to me. We are a fucking basket case of a football club that's run by a guy that's not even really interested in football, that fucking just makes all these decisions. So as a football club, we are an absolute basket case. So I don't disagree with you with any of that, right? But here's the but. Wilfred Nancy is an experienced football manager. He's managed in America, right? Which isn't everybody's, it's not a fucking swashbuckling league that's fucking pulling up turnips. But at the end of the day, it's a decent standard. And he's obviously working with human beings, and he's a pretty experienced manager, and he's tasted success. Whether we rate the American League as kind of by the by, he's still an experienced manager. So, see to me, Celtic are a basket case, but the bottom line is this guy now is our manager. So this guy now needs supported. And as for his 3 at the back, that's the way he plays. So he was always going to do that. I get we didn't think he was going to do it as soon, but at the end of the day, that's the guy he is. That's his footprint in football. That's how he manages a football team. Celtic surely am they surprised that he actually kept to that. And by all accounts, I've looked into the guy a bit, and with his Montreal stuff, he had bawling and shouting matches, and he was wanting to leave, and with the owner. So to me, it doesn't really fit with Celtic, because Celtic want a manager that toes the party line, and I don't think this guy does toe the party line. This guy's a bit of a maverick and does his own thing. So I'm a bit confused why he's our manager because of that fact, or maybe Desmond didn't even fucking look into that. So I think the guy's got a bit about him. And as for the lineup and the way we're playing, if you look at the Hearts game, right, we've not went into it yet. Celtic had 72% possession, 15 shots in goal, 5 on target. Hearts had 8 shots in goal, 3 in target. Our big problem is up front. It's not anything else. He's 3 at the back. That's kind of immaterial. We can't put the ball in the net.
I actually completely disagree with you. I watched that match from start to finish, and I watched it closely. It was fucking absolute chaos ball from the word go.
Not for the word go. The first half an hour was brilliant.
First half an hour, every comp was just running about, and Hearts just held on and waited. And hold on. Evan Ferguson said it last night in his interview. He said, "Them Celtic players don't know what they're doing."
No, he didn't. Did you actually? Did you watch his interview?
I did, and he says that you
No,
can tell.
no. He says at times, he says, but they'll come good. He says it's a new formation, and they didn't know what they're doing. And back to Scott's point, which I totally agree with. I think Wilfred Nancy is a guy that gets into detail, and certain players can't really handle that. They like just to be fucking left out to go. And Martin O'Neill would be the perfect manager to actually say, just go and play. And by the way, Martin O'Neill, we get fucking absolutely thumped off Michelin. It was embarrassing that night.
I
The
completely agree.
St Mirren away game was one of the worst games. Folk were saying Roma was the worst game they'd watched. Did they watch the St Mirren game? The St Mirren games, the away game to St Mirren's one of the worst games I've ever watched in my life. And thank God Callum McGregor come up with that goal at the end.
And so to go back to your point, did you made 1 minute ago? You said all our problems are up front, and our key striker who played well last night by all accounts was signed 1 day after the fucking transfer window closed.
It was a disgrace, and that's not the point here. The club is an absolute disgrace.
No, it is. That is the point, Jason, and I completely agree with you.
But totally to put that on Wilfred Nancy, the Hearts game, if we put our chances away and it's fucking the usual shite, ifs and buts and that, we'd have been out of sight. The first half an hour against Hearts, I was sitting next to Liam and I was sitting next to my mates with Dundee, and we were just sitting talking, saying, this is actually pretty good. This is pretty good. Liam had concerns the way it was set up and all that, and I wasn't kind of buying it. The second half was shambolic, right? I get that. But if we'd put our chances away, we wouldn't even be talking like this now. You know, because let's face it,
but the point is, he clearly, so if it's an experienced manager coming in and that's not working, then this experienced manager changes it to make it work. He looked like a fucking doughball. No, he made himself look like a fool. I don't know how many times he called Callum McGregor over to tell Callum McGregor what he wanted to do. Whether it was lost in translation, the longer the match went on, the worse it got. And then the next thing you were seeing him sitting with these fucking things. And I was waiting on the fucking memes coming into my WhatsApp. I knew it was coming.
Well, but see that I'm not really bothered about that, right? It's a new formation, and he's actually getting. See if he's doing that 6 months down the line to Callum McGregor, then you're worrying. But he's just in the door. He's had 2 training sessions. That's pretty normal behaviour. If I was the manager, I would be pulling my captain out and telling him stuff. Is that so outlandish?
No, I mean the whole thing is a fucking disgrace. And like we've said, why didn't they just let O'Neill stay either after the cup final or?
But right. The club is a basket case. Why are we keep going on to talking about why did Celtic no do this? Why did Celtic no do that? The club is a fucking basket case.
But here's the reason: because everybody was backing us to be at Hearts last week. Everybody was saying Celtic have momentum. They got that last minute winner last week. Blah blah blah. That's why. And the fucking wheels fell off in front of the world. And as I say, he made his changes. Scott was saying seems to be a philosophy manager, which we really don't need. I agree. But here we are. And it's like, why the fuck would you do that right away? You'd only met these guys and all of a sudden start changing shit. Just fucking be 10 at the back, go for a 4, and hope the fuck you win the game.
But that's not him. He's his own man.
There's nothing in this guy's background that tells me he's a Celtic manager. Like, it's complete Tony Mowbray, Ronnie fucking De La vibes off this guy.
But right, so that's just because you don't rate the American League. He's won titles in America.
No.
With teams with far less budget than the ones that were in the league.
Jason, it's not about the American League or any league. We have complained on this podcast for a decade about projects. This guy is a project manager.
But he's no.
No, he is. No, he
isn't.
He's only been a manager for 4 years. He's only been a manager for 4 years. He managed in Montreal and he managed in Columbus, whatever the fuck, for 3 years. He only lasted a year in Montreal. He was over there for 3 years. He's a 4-year manager. In his 4th year, Gordon Strachan, for whatever the fuck you want to slabber about him, was a manager for a long time. Managed big teams in England. Tony Mowbray was the same. Got fucking teams promoted out of the Championship, the toughest league in the world, right? Tony Mowbray, if you set Tony Mowbray's fucking CV up against Wilfred Nancy's before Tony Mowbray turned up, Tony Mowbray wipes the floor with him. Ronnie Dela was a manager in fucking Norway. Came here and won 2 leagues, and we couldn't wait to get rid of him. And this is exactly the same type of appointment. He's a fucking novice manager. He has never managed a team like Celtic in his fucking puff.
No. But
And he's never managed more importantly, he's never managed in an atmosphere like Glasgow in his fucking puff.
That would be the same for just about every manager in the world that we
Not
appointed.
necessarily. If you're taking a manager maybe who managed Everton or who managed Spurs or who
But they've never managed in Glasgow.
No, but they've managed in a higher environment. Nobody gives a fuck about the MLS.
Right.
Like
Well,
the MLS.
I don't give a fuck about the MLS. I don't give a fuck about the MLS either. But the bottom line
MLS is like the 5th or 6th sport in America. If you lose in the MLS, nobody gives a fuck. Like, don't care. Really.
No. I get that.
Messi went over there and lost, don't give a fuck. I mean, Messi.
I get that. But see for you to like, I don't think you can compare any 2 managers, right? And I'm not saying this guy's going to be a rip-roaring success. I don't know. It's totally the unknown, but I'm willing to totally get behind him.
My point is, it's exactly the same as the football players that we're buying. We're buying projects, and we hope that they work. And that's exactly what this guy is. He's been a top-flight football manager for 4 years. 4 fucking years.
5 years. It was 8th of March
5 years.
2020.
No, he joined 2021. It's 2025. He's been
8th of March. So
that's 4 years, Jason. That's 4 years in anybody's money. 2021 to 2025.
4 year, 9 months.
4 years. Right, okay. 4 years, 9 months. This guy is. Who the fuck? What qualifies that man to manage Celtic? Fucking, I am totally unimpressed.
No. Right. I get the point because Paul Tisdale's fucking mates with Kwame Ampadu. That's what qualifies him. Celtic as a football club is an absolute basket case. I'm not denying the fact. Right?
I just can't understand why you think he's going to be a success.
No, I don't. But the thing is, you keep going on about something that's out of your control. And the bottom line is, Celtic are a fucking basket case. Are you understanding that? I'm not denying it, right? So, but he's here now, so we need to deal with it. That's my point.
Right, but we have a fans campaign, right? An entire that we've never had as much unity among the fans in our lives about this sort of shit. And this is just, to me, this is just another cast iron example of what we're complaining about.
Agreed.
That this guy has no more fucking, and he could end up being the fucking, he could end up being Jackstein incarnate. I don't know. But looking at him now, I'm going, this sums up the problem with this club. Now, I'm not
any argument for me, but I'm actually trying to put a case forward for the possibility that the guy could be a success. And
that's what I've just said. He could be Jackstein incarnate, but my point is, there's nothing in his background that would suggest this. There's nothing. There's fuck all.
But the thing is, we don't know what's going to happen. But you're making statements that this will happen, that will happen, and we don't know. But the thing is, the guy is a football manager. He's managed at a decent level. He's won things, and he's a bit of a maverick, and he's got his own way of doing things. So he's doing it that way. Whether it'll work, we don't know.
My point at the start of this was, I am completely underwhelmed by this appointment. Now I'm going to read this out to you, right? Toulon, Boncaros, Ran l'Etape, Ivry, Noisy-le-Sec, Châteauroux, and Orléans. And that was in 2000. Hold on. I haven't finished talking, right? Orléans. He didn't play for them at all. And that was in 2005. And all of it, so that's 20 years ago when he stopped playing football. And in 2021, he turns up as a coach for Montreal. What the fuck in that background would class him as someone who could take the Celtic job? Because I, for the fucking life of me, cannot see it. He's Paul Tisdale's mate. Paul Tisdale has got him a job, and as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a fucking disaster.
That's I can't disagree with it. That's your opinion, right? And it's fair. And Celtic are a fucking basket case, and that's the reason why he's got the Celtic job, right? But my point is, he's here now.
I know, listen,
So,
I agree. He is here. And what you were hoping for this week was the guy would come in and get a couple of wins under his belt, big wins, Hearts, a cup final, blah, blah, blah. Nah, I'm sitting here on a Friday night with a swallow on me, shaking myself about St Mirren.
no. And to back your point up, right, it's as we've always said, well, fucking everybody says stuff like this. If you're a Callum McGregor in that dressing room, right, and he's backing out instructions for you, and you say, what the fuck have you ever done in football?
Do you know what I mean? You could actually put Callum.
But he has won a
prefer to
couple.
have Callum McGregor in the fucking job.
He's won leagues.
So can I come in? Can I come in and just
totally, mate, please?
I'm going to go and get a beer. That new second.
Yeah, it's cool. Just to take it a little bit a different direction, and I'll be interested in Scott's views, Jason, your views, or whatever, right? But Jason, as you know, you had a lively debate at the game last weekend, right? So, and I've been quite defensive of Nancy so far in terms of the situation he was coming in, but I just looking at what we've done so far and the players he's picked in that formation. Obviously, he's had to go back and watch games and kind of try and gauge what the squad's all about and what the players are all about. You know, he had a meeting with Martin O'Neill when he first arrived, who hopefully would have given him a good overview of the players there and, you know, what they're good at and whatever else. But I just found his team selections really, really baffling. Really, really baffling. You know, it's well documented between me and you. You know, I've got big concerns about the way the formation sits, that he wants to play to attacking players out wide, right? If that's what he wants to do, that's fair enough. But the two players he's picked so far, they're not even good enough to play wingers for us with someone behind them, let alone having the whole side of the pitch to kind of try and manage. Surely, if you want to play an attacking wide player that's got to cover the pitch, you've got to be playing the Ada there and putting him out on the left and giving him, you know, he could run about all day for us. You had two strikers on the bench both games so far, and he's not done that. Three at the back, which my assumption was that it'd just be three centre halves. That's what you would expect to see. But I think his vision is he plays kind of two fullback type players alongside a centre half. So I mean, you know, if we're playing one proper defender every game, we've got 4 or 5 at least on the books just now. You know, what are we doing with all these other players? It feels just completely lopsided. I don't know how much a guy can actually absorb how a team is and how the players are when he comes in new. You can watch a lot of the games, but he's really just felt like he's been putting square pegs in round holes, and that's what's concerning me, the kind of structure of the team. Yesterday, I know we haven't gone through the game yet, but, you know, Tenecti playing the whole 90 minutes, Tierney coming off at half time, just stuff like that it feels bizarre. Now you can give him a pass because it's early on, but that's where I've got big concerns just now around the players he's putting in, the way he's getting them to play. I agree with you that the first 20-30 minutes on Sunday was as exciting as we've seen probably since Ange, you know, without creating the chances, but it was fast, it was exciting, it was good to watch. But that's where I've got my big concerns is around the kind of the players we're putting in and how we're shaping up. The second half was a lot better last night, which could be partly down to Roma slowing down and, you know, partly down to the changes. That gives me a bit of hope. Not a bit of hope. Like I'm still confident we're better than St Mirren and we'll beat them on Sunday, but I hope he's going to lean towards more of that team with a few adjustments that for Sunday as well. But that's been my big concern, as we've obviously discussed a lot of times.
It was interesting, right? He made, and the points just come on the chat there now, he made 3 substitutions, right, at half time last night, and you don't know because Roma are probably in second gear in the second half, right? They're just maybe want to try and keep it tight. But the substitutions definitely made a difference to our shape and the way we actually played, and I think Donovan was probably the main aspect of that. I thought Bernardo done really well when he came on, but the KT aspect, you would actually think KT would fit into that role perfectly.
Yep.
You know, of the left side of the three. Do you think it was something I was thinking about? Do you think he hooked him? Because I didn't think KT was particularly good, and especially he lost the man at I think their second goal.
Yeah, he did.
And or was it the first goal? It was the first goal. It was the Scales' own goal.
Yeah,
KT lost his man there, but do you think he's brung him off to rest him for Sunday?
I do, and he did allude to that in his press conference today.
He did, because he said exactly. Yeah. He says we need to think about Sunday, because obviously the game had kind of gone, and he's probably went like that. Well, but my big worry would be, and I said to you, is see if I'm standing getting a pint before the game, and I look at the lineup, and we've got the same starting 11 as we've had the last two games. I'm seriously thinking no get into the final.
Yeah, it's a real worry.
Terrify me.
Yeah, surely he's got to play. He's got to play in the Acho up front and then put me out wide. Surely, man. I mean, a blind man can see that's the right thing to do. Surely.
But to me, you would have to play Donovan.
But Mieda on the left. Donovan could play on the right, but Mieda on the left.
No. Donovan is the back.
Right, we'll come to Sunday in a minute.
Aye.
This kind of. Is Marty still there?
Oh, just went for a drink. He'll be back.
No, I'm back.
You started your comment by saying I'm going to annoy Scott. You quite the opposite. I understood.
Let me annoy you. Well, tell me something.
No, there's plenty of time for that. I understood your point, and I can't argue with your point. I can't. Would I have chosen Nancy? No. For what I've seen, exactly. Well, we can't criticise people who are underwhelmed, frustrated, and unenthusiastic about his future based on his past, based on his present. And somebody says in the chat, see in the Hearts game, how many times he bounced off Callum McGregor, and Callum McGregor did. Now, that is the guy that you need to get on board. You need to get. He's number one, fucking above everybody else. And I appreciate that we all heard these rumours. He walked in and he gave them fucking. He stripped them off. But Callum McGregor's a guy that. See if Callum McGregor walked on to him after the game last night and says, "Boss, right, I'm with you. You've got me 100%. But can we do this for Sunday?" And he says no, then I think he's wrong. I mean, I understand that. What I ask you all. I mean, you think about the jobs you do and the skill set you've got, and somebody headhunts you for your talents, and then when they bring you in, everybody gets frustrated at your fucking way of working, and you kind of go, "You's all fucking knew this. You's all knew this is I told you this is what I'm going to do." However, I'd like to think that you wouldn't go boys to the wall and walk in. You would try and fucking fix things. I can understand everybody's points. You just know me. I'm very much I'll sit back and see. I'm not a booer. Do you know what I mean? But it's fucking worrying me the exact same as every one of you. Jason, what you said, I don't disagree with you. You know what I mean? This cup final's giving us the heebie-jeebies, and it's fucking St Mirren. And I know St Mirren gave us a tough game, but there's no excuses for Sunday if it goes wrong. None at all. No. And I'll tell you what, we're all talking about winning the cup. See, going to Tannadice, it's equally giving me indigestion.
Scott, have you spoke to your St Mirren pal?
No, I've not spoke to him.
No. I just wondered.
Last time I spoke to Chris, I think Martin O'Neill had just been appointed. No, we obviously we'd beat the Huns, and I text him, and I say to him, I think you've got a decent chance because we aren't great, and he says, I think so as well. See, what we've got to remember, no matter what we think of Nancy, these players have stank the place out for 90% of this season.
Yeah, and the two games against St Mirren this season has been last.
The 3 games. What about the one last? What What about the one at the fucking end of last season?
Aye.
James
Aye,
Forrest scored. We scored the fucking 90 fucking fourth minute to get a draw.
Aye. So the thing is, that's been Brendan Rodgers and Mark McNeil. Mark McNeil was lucky as fuck to beat St Mirren.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't deserve to win that game. Not a chance, but we did. And I suppose, but I think Mark McNeil got lucky in a lot of his games because we weren't great. We were great in spells, some of them, but he got a winning mentality, and I think the stars aligned for him. But it wasn't fucking amazing football. But at the end of the day, he simplified things for folk. And I think you made the point earlier, Scott, that I think Nancy is a man of detail, and he's won a certain way, and he's maybe fucking overloading these guys with information. And that brings to the point that Evan Ferguson made, that there's certain bits that they just don't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Zonal marking and all that, and introducing things like that at the back, named at the back post, and Marty made the point. It's but the thing is, these are professional football players, but they're just normal human beings, right? Some of them won't be good at taking in fucking intricate detail. I mean, you're no fucking dealing with, you're not dealing with academics here. And the thing is, if they go out to play a game and they've got fucking 10 things that you need to think about, it's a disaster.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, but at the end of the day, he's going to be he's got to have a bit about him, and he's got to understand. And I'm not too worried about him playing his formation. Right, the way he sets up, we've got better players than St Mirren. We've got better players than every team in the league. We've not got the best Celtic squad we've ever seen, but we've still got better players than everybody else.
But, Jason, do you not feel we've looked like really lost in these two games? And I know it's the first two times we've tried it, but like the players, I thought in the second half and against Hearts, they looked completely clueless as to what they're meant to be trying to do.
But the first half against Hearts, they looked great.
Yeah,
and I thought last night in the second half they looked all right against Roma. See, when I put on the chat, but none of you replied back, right? Last night, right, we've missed a penalty. We've got a goal disallowed. Hatate's ballooned one, as he always does, over the bar in the first half. Iniacho's missed a sitter. That's 4 quality chances to put the ball in the net. 4 fucking gilt-edged chances. And our problem is scoring goals. And it's been a problem for the start of the season. And I get the players that we've lost, but we've got guys that are good enough to fucking put the ball in the net. We had 4 quality chances last night. One was a fucking penalty. Yeah, and obviously the offside goal was just bad luck. It's fucking a ball hit there. It's well offside. But if he times his run better, we've got 4 quality chances against a top-class Roma side that's pushing to win Serie A. And they scored, right? They dispatched their chances, but they only had another 2 gilt-edged chances. We had 4 amazing chances. And when you play teams like that, it's unforgivable. If that penalty goes in, and saying that, if the penalty goes in, they probably come out the second half on first gear, or fourth gear, or whatever way. But they probably come out and go for it in the second half again, whereas I think they probably sat back, which made us look better. So I don't know whether the second half yesterday was any good. But we're making the chances, but we're just not putting the ball away. And that's the killer for me. We don't have any actual. He's our only fucking hope. But he misses fucking loads and all. He's not an amazing striker. He's good. He holds the ball well and he gives us a focus. Fucking Maida up there is just a fucking disaster.
He's hopeless, man. In that form, you can't be giving him balls with his back to goal to feet. He just doesn't have that thing. I mean, like I said, stick him out on the left. I think he'd be really good. Just give him the whole pitch to run about in.
But then you're fucking waiting on crossing the ball fucking into the fucking stands all day. But I mean, the amount of times you go back to Brendan Rodgers was probably still on the job if Maida could fucking put the ball away. You know. But I don't know. It's just, but the full Nancy thing, right? He's here now. We just need to get with it and get back to Scott. whoever made the point that he's meant to have read the riot act in the dressing room, whether that's true or not, I've no clue. But
No, it was me.
aye, but Scott made the point, what would you do in your job, right? So,
Well, what you would do would be what O'Neill did. Exactly. You would say, listen, things aren't going well, but let's all get together, hug each other, love each other, we're all great, blah, 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 hope for the fucking best. You don't walk in and say, here's the news, dickheads, you're crap, and I can't get my players in for another 6 weeks. So, you may fucking pull your fucking shorts up. Like, you're dealing with millionaires here, let's go, aye, dead on, mate, no problem.
I would definitely do what Martin O'Neill done, right? But for these quirky characters that have got a philosophy and stuff like that, you would. I reckon Brendan Rodgers is one of the guys. He's got his own philosophy, right? But he would definitely tell them, I will make you better. I will fucking make you buy into me. You will be a top class player, etc. But this is a guy that he's managed at the top level, as you say, and I'm not agreeing with you here, Marty. That Walfred Nancy came in saying it. Some of the players might be going, who the fuck's this? You know,
that's what happened when Ronnie Daly came in. The fucking cunts Googled him. And they were going, who the fuck's this cunt? Do you know what I mean? I know for a fact that happened. They were like, who is this guy? He's nobody. And
but see,
I'm not saying it's right. And you could be.
Well, that's my point. You
could be sitting on the cusp of genius.
Aye, exactly. Point. And see if players actually do that and they throw the rattle at the pram, then get them to fuck.
They do. I mean, that's what happened with Chris Commons and like Charlie McGrew and all them were involved in it too. They just did not rate Ronnie Taylor. They didn't think he was up to the task of managing them. But that's the problem with modern football. Calcio Moderna. Do you know what I mean? That's the way players are, and it's player power. You know, O'Neill or Rodgers was saying, well, boards don't get sacked, managers do, but players get managers sacked.
Aye.
That's a fucking difference.
And the thing is, it's the fans that suffer because if the players,
100%, 100%,
if the players have chucked the fucking towel in, then we're the ones that are going to suffer.
Yep, 100%.
But I think Celtic's problems this season, and Rodgers did have a point. Our problems this season is basically scoring goals. Our defence was the best defence in Scotland, right? And it's just basically putting the ball in the net. If we had scored a couple of the goals against Hearts near the start, we'd have probably romped them. Because the players would get confidence, would have fucking went from strength to strength, and Nancy would be the fucking new saviour than it.
I watched that goal last night that fucking Evan Ferguson tapped in. The fucking defence was a disgrace. Kieran Tierney too. The Kieran Tierney was on him. And I was going, who the fuck's that? And then I went, fucking hell, that's Kieran Tierney.
What about Schmeichel?
I know, but sure, me and you...
He's sitting in his hole.
Me and you have been advocating getting rid of that cunt for 6 months.
Oh,
he should never have got back into the team after that cup final. Like, he shouldn't have. That should have been the fucking end of him.
And see,
on that, you know what I mean? It's like...
See if he costs us in our cup final on Sunday.
That's the point, Jason, exactly. And we've got Sinisalo, who Brett Rodgers said, I actually don't need to send this guy to know he's fucking great. I know he's there if any of them he's in. You know, it was the natural time was the cup final last year to say to Schmeichel, right, you're on the bench, stay for a year, good cover. That's just fucking mad. It's mad.
So, somebody said in the chat there, and I think it's a decent shout. Can we talk about Nygren and Taneke?
Well, you can do that because I didn't see the whole game, so I'm out.
Never mind, you don't need to see the whole game, but fucking hell. Right, Taneke, it's a right bugbear with me. He's fucking awful. But I do think there's a player there. And I actually thought he was actually half decent last night. I thought he wasn't the worst. He was nowhere near the worst. But see against Hearts on Sunday. Oh, Jesus Christ. That boy is fucking...
I'll tell you, it bewilders me how somebody with that amount of talent can do nothing.
Aye.
And he's absolutely shot to bed as well. I don't know if difference. He's shot to bed. what's killing me is he'll get the ball, he'll run at somebody, you can see the guy he's up against, he's panicking, and then he'll stop and he'll play the squarest ball back to a guy, and that guy is then going to take a touch and do something with it before the guy fucking closes him down. And it just totally reminds me of what Kuhn was doing, except for Kuhn, when he was passing it back, was at least passing it into a position where the guy could do something. The boys back to Tierney last night were god awful, man. Really, really bad. I mean, I didn't even just get down the line and cross it or cut in and shoot. Day one of the two of them. What he's doing now is unacceptable. And my God, we've spent £10 million on two players, and you can't tell me there's boys in the Scottish League who can't do better. You can't tell me that.
And I think you hit the nail on the head. I think his confidence is completely gone, completely done. Because all he wants to do is get the ball down, bit of a shimmy, come back and just roll the ball backwards.
Yeah,
brutal. He did one on Sunday. He did really well. That he actually put Hatate through, and Hatate made an arse of it. You know, the one he did beat the guy, and then he played the wee dink pass into the byline, which was really good. But Scott, there's a player there. He's good. He's got everything. You know, he's really good on the ball. He's fucking got pace. He's fucking. How does he not just fucking go for it? It's so.
What bewilders me is that Celtic haven't got a hold of him and go a winger. Like, I mean, like, who was it? Damien Duff? Was it El Yunusi? There was somebody we had, and they say Damien Duff's been a godsend. He's been excellent because he knows how to play that position. That boy's got so much. And I think the confidence is massive because look at him in comparison to that first game against
Marty. He was getting the fans up. He's got the arms up at Rugby Park and at fucking Firhill and that. He's telling the fans to sing and all that. See now, he's just got the heat down.
Aye, nobody winner. Somebody will fucking take it off. Take his heat off.
By the way, Tam O'Donnell in the chat there, I fucking wet myself. This is Negro. Does he have an African granny? Do you know, see African football players now, they're fucking 9 years ago in the World Cup, they're just raw as fuck. Just running everywhere. That's exactly what fucking he's like. He is a fucking heedless chicken.
Mate, the one that killed me about Negrin during the game yesterday, not because he would do one decent thing, then he'd do one some awful thing. But see the one where the ball came to him and he's just got to shield it and the boy just ran through him and took it off an attack. Mate, do you remember the boy went on the pitch to attack Neymar when we played PSG? I was hoping somebody would run on the pitch and attack Negrin yesterday because I was livid, man. I was livid. Do you know it's also a frustrating thing about Maeda, right? See, Maeda actually done some decent layoffs. There were layoffs to nobody, which tied in with nobody was knowing what they were doing. To get back to your old 4-4-2, Larson Sutton, the ball could bounce off of one of them, and the other one knew where it would be. I mean, Maeda was touching the ball back, and there was nobody there. And it was actually a decent touch back. Do you know what I mean? So,
a boy says to Charlie, can we send Negrin to the AFCON anyway?
Who said that? Who said that, Jason?
Somebody followed up and said the African granny.
And I've just realised the first guy wasn't talking about the way African players play. He was actually insinuating to get him away to fucking Africa as well.
Can we get him a fucking? Can we get him a Congolese passport or something?
And I'll tell you,
but on Negrin, right? Negrin, is not a bad player, and he can score. So if he can fucking work out some sort of way to maximize his good points, he is a fucking player. You know what I mean? So you get
Aye. And see if the manager says, would you just fucking calm down, son? It's fucking, you don't need to play 6 positions. Don't
yeah,
move.
well,
Fucking,
be the Henrik Larsson of the fucking Celtic thing this year. Like, that's what O'Neill said to him, you know. So there's a player there, but
To
the
be
way he
honest,
play
see
is
last,
just fucking.
last night, he couldn't even control the ball. I mean,
Oh,
it wasn't even
fucking
about running around.
awful.
He could not control a simple fucking ball. Now, Jason, you know, I've defended him quite a lot, and obviously Mick McGuinness is his biggest fan, as we know. The Antichrist, that's what he calls him, I think, doesn't he?
Aye.
But I mean, to be a professional footballer and play as bad as that yesterday was fucking unbelievable.
Aye.
Genuinely
I'll
thought
tell you,
he'd won a prize.
We let fucking Schmeichel laugh, Marty. You'll agree with this as well. What about Schmeichel's distribution last night? He fucking must have gave the ball to a Roma player about 5 times just for kicking it out. They were doing our throats because of that cunt about 5 times. He's fucking done. He needs ousted.
I agree completely, and I have no hatred that
He
Casper
makes good
Schmeichel.
saves. He makes
No,
there
listen,
was a
you
couple of cracking saves last night, but he's done.
you seen him the other week with O'Neill. He saved O'Neill's bacon the other week. His fucking saves were outstanding, but his general play, he's afraid that, like when he the other week with a penalty, you could tell he was afraid to dive. He's afraid to hurt himself.
Well, put it this way: seeing Sunday, God help us. See if it goes to penalties, I'm walking out. Because we fucking no chance.
No, you'd be subbing on Sinisalvo to fucking.
But they won't.
I know.
It's just fucking. He's well past his sell-by date. He definitely need better, and he does make good saves. So sometimes he makes you eat your words, and as a shot stopper, he's still pretty good. But fucking hell, they 2 goals last night. Honest to God,
He didn't dive for the first goal. The second goal, which in fairness was a brilliant finish, but I mean,
he didn't dive. He was on his arse. It fell back down on his arse. It was a good finish, but it didn't matter. He didn't even attempt to make a save. It was like, but aye. Apart from all that, but I think we're doing all right.
Apart from that, we're flying, Jason. Fuck me. There's no complaints. But look, the whole situation just sums up where we are as a club. And we can always get into the weeds on a particular game or a particular player or whatever the fuck, or even the manager. But the club is fucked. Like, we're running out of steam as a fucking entity. You know, and
So-
the people running the club really need to fuck off. Like, they really do.
Aye. And on that point, right, which is massive, and I don't think people actually realise how massive it is, right? And you'll get the old folk that fucking they deserve to get banned and everything. See, banning the Green Brigade, and by the way, none of us are in the Green Brigade. None of us have got anything to do with the Green Brigade.
Nope.
We decry the Green Brigade for certain things today. We praise them for other things today. And while we're all praising and while we're patting our own selves in the back, the Green Brigade at the weekend, before the Hearts game, the food bank collection was unbelievable. And the amount of money they've actually provided and the amount of food they've actually provided to poor food banks, that it's a fucking disgrace they exist. But the annual food bank collection with the Green Brigade, me and Ellie took 3 bags down to St Mary's Chapel, and we've not even touched on that yet either. Scott, you can do that probably at the end. But me and Ellie took 3 bags, went into Lidl's, 40 quid or whatever between the two is 45 quid, and there was 3 full bags. And when we walked into St Mary's Chapel, the van was parked round, and I'm telling you, me and Ellie nearly get the last 3 bags in, because the amount of people carrying bags for that, the saunter from St Mary's Chapel up to Celtic Park was unbelievable, because loads had brought bags for the Green Brigade food collection, and I tell you, big respect for everybody at the HomeBhoys, the Green Brigade, for doing that. But to my point, them getting banned for Celtic Park is it costs us so much. And people say, oh, we don't need them. They only bring...
Jason,
we fucking need them,
Jason.
all right.
I've been fucking arguing with cunts all week. We've been saying, well, we didn't need the Green Brigade in the 1950s. We didn't need the Green Brigade in the 1960s. Well, let me fucking revisit where the Green Brigade came from, right? See, at the end of Martin O'Neill's tenure, you could hear a fucking packet of crisps opening at Celtic Park. I sat at a game, we beat Aberdeen 1-0. We won by a penalty. I forget if it was in the Seville year or the year after. It was right about that time. It was one of the worst game of football I've ever fucking seen. And not one song was sung that entire game. It was fucking diabolical. And that's where the Jungle Boys came from. And eventually that led to their Green Brigade. So see these people who go, oh, we didn't fucking need this in the jungle. No, the jungle's fucking gone. You're all old as fuck. I have my own problems with the Green Brigade. You all know what they are. That's not the fucking point. I'm telling you now, without the Green Brigade and without the boys, our fucking ground is a morgue. And if you go on the Celtic FC shop now, you will still see they are selling Green Brigade tifos as pictures on the club website today. So they're monetizing what the Green Brigade did. As I say, I have my own problems with them. We all do, maybe bits and pieces here and there and the other thing. That's all sound, right? That's all stuff we can keep within the fucking Celtic family and argue the toss, right? And there's times I've had to bite my tongue on here for some of the things the Green Brigade have done. I do not agree with all the things they've done. And that's a fucking understatement, frankly, in some cases. But in terms of atmosphere and what they bring to the match day experience that Celtic sell across the world, it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. Like, and see these people that complain about them. They go, I have no problem. You complain about them, but where's your alternative? Are you going to start up a singing section? Well, you and your fucking mates. And see the people who complained about when they were talking about doing not the North Curve. What did you call it, Scott? When they were talking about the Jackstein stand,
The Celtic end.
the Celtic end. See people who were complaining about that. That's where the fucking Jungle Boys started. That's where the singing section started. It didn't fucking start over in the North Curve. It started in the Jackstein stand because the Jackstein stand was supposed to be the most boisterous part of the ground. And the further you move towards the away fans, the less of the atmosphere was. And that's why Celtic dumped them into the North Curve in the first place. Because that was an easy way. There was loads of tickets available and they could just dump them into that fucking one zone.
Well,
Things that got totally boiled my piss.
The point is, traditionally, when you went to the old Celtic Park with the jungle, the Rangers end was much emptier because obviously most away fans only got a wee corner of it, right? So the Rangers end was empty. The jungle and the Celtic end is the traditional home end. So they had to recreate the Celtic end, which the Celtic end never really sung much anyway, apart from big European games when the full stadium was singing. It was songs only came for the jungle, but people like to recreate history that Celtic Park used to be bouncing all the time and stuff. What a shite. I've been going to watch Celtic, but first game I was 4, right? 54 this year. So, in fact, when my birthday this year, I'll be able to say I've been going to watch Celtic for 50 years, which is fucking sad as fuck. But a load of shite. Fucking, you'd be going to games, you'd be playing Airdrie, you'd be fucking playing Bolton, you'd be playing fucking Dundee or whatever at home, and like, there'd be no atmosphere in the old Celtic Park. See these folk who say, I'd love to recreate the jungle days and that. Load of shite. Fucking people look at it fucking rosy tinted glasses. It's just nonsense. It was good at certain times, and there was big European nights. It was great, but I missed the big fucking European nights, 72, 74 and stuff like that. My European nights were generally shite. Cologne at home was good. 2-0 down over there, beat 1-3, 3-0 at Celtic Park. But Celtic Park was magical at midweek games, and if you played that mob, it was bouncing, right? It was great. Jungle was outstanding. I can beat them. But on the whole, it wasn't like fucking... I just think people fucking recreate history for the sake of it, because most games, weren't like that. The Green Brigade and the boys have brought an atmosphere at Celtic Park that probably haven't seen before. The constant singing, that never happened. That never happened back in the day. They create an atmosphere that never happened at Celtic Park. And our club is fucking hell-bent on getting rid of it. And just say, yous are fucking imbeciles. We are ran by fucking imbeciles. Honestly. And I get the Green Brigade in there with this cup of tea. They've done a couple of stupid things. Totally, they'll put their hands up to that as well. But they're fucking decent human beings. They're fucking decent folk. It's a fucking disgrace. And Wilfred Nancy's walked into this. And regardless whether you think he's a good manager or no, or regardless whether you think he's fucking starting off fucking 200 yards ahead of fucking the first guy in an 800-metre race. He's on a hide into fucking nothing. And they're banned for they won't, I take it. Some of them will obviously be at the final. I don't know what the drill is, but they obviously didn't get any tickets for the final. But tickets are fucking 10 a penny, I think, if you really want to get there. So I don't know what it'll be like Sunday, but I know, Scott, you said it was a good atmosphere against that mob in the semis, but who knows what it'll be like on Sunday. But the atmosphere without them and the boys in full voice at the games is fucking chronic. It's like a morgue. Any comments?
No, totally agreement. And
the reason I keep my season tickets is because it's next to the boys. See, if I brought my wee lad to Celtic Park and it wasn't next to the boys, he wouldn't have the same kind of experience or the same kind of affection to Celtic Park that he has. That's why I like I haven't been to a game this season. I fucking paid Celtic hundreds of pounds. But it's for the reason that I know the experience he gets out of it is turning his head to the right and watching them jump up and down and fucking sing and go mental. And he met DJ Provey as well, who was in the middle of them one time, right? So for me, no amount of money could buy that experience, right? And those lads provide it. The boys provide it. And when they're bouncing off the Green Brigade as well, he loves that too. So nobody at Celtic Park or the marketing department or the board gives a fiddler's fuck about my wee lad's experience or what he gets out of it. They don't give a fuck about what these lads bring to the game. They don't give a fuck about what they're trying to express. They don't give a fuck. They see them as thugs. And that is the worst thing because we have met loads of them. And I've yet to meet a horrible human being, like a person I've felt threatened by. But we're in a situation whereby we have a football club that is personified at the highest level by elitist attitudes that are only getting further and further away from what the people who want to represent the club on a genuine, passionate level actually believe in. And it's distressing because it feels like a bit of a crossroads sometimes.
See, from a business perspective, right? How fucking hopeless are they, right? See if they were to embrace the fan culture that we've got, they would embrace it and promote it and fucking have regular meetings with them. And can you imagine you got the Green Brigade in weekly meetings? We're going to do this week, we're going to do that this week. And ultras, right, they want to be a bit, but see if you had an ongoing dialogue with them, right? I bet you they would be your mates and they say, listen, we better not fuck with them, right? We better not do this, we better not do that. We want to do. See if you got them in every week and just blethered with them, right? Say there was a weekly meeting with the boys in the Green Brigade, went and met some Celtic rep and says, look, this is what we're doing this week, this is what we're doing that week. We won't, promise you, we won't fucking step over the line, we won't thing me. Everybody then gets on, everybody then enjoys it. See if the club embraced that. How fucking good would Celtic be?
You're talking about something very simple, Jason, which is called mediation.
Communication.
Well, no, not in communication and mediation. I suppose
But Celtic are sitting in a fucking gold mine here, and they just fucking piss it against the wall.
I know, but again, every fucking institution, every organization, every company, the attitude and the tone comes from the very top. It always does. And despite how many people lower down the totem pole make this I'm sure
the top doesn't succeed.
I'm sure there are many people that work for Celtic in a media department that listen to this podcast or have heard this podcast or have heard things we've said, right? And we know this for a fact. We've heard over the years, right? That agree with us. Totally agree with us. Agree that we think the club is not progressing at the level it should progress when it comes to modern football.
It's like military. It's like the Argentinian military junta in the fucking 70s. It fucking is. They are fucking imbecile.
But there's fuck all they could do about it. Right? And that's the thing. And I suppose that's kind of where I want to come into the collective, because at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters, the only thing that really actually has any sway or leverage is people power. And people power, it has to be collective. It has to be organized. Right? And, you know, there's a fire sale now coming up to Christmas at the Superstore, which is no coincidence, right? And Scott, I want to bring Scott here. You had Paul Quigley on this week, and that podcast was
Joe, sorry, just before you go into that directly with Scott, right? But just on that point that Jason's made there, like and we talked about this a few times recently, the support, including all of us, no doubt, the support's awful just now. Like fucking no one's interested. The songbooks are complete and utter shite, but no one wants to sing. Fucking, it's just the same people in the same seats for years and years and years. Away tickets going up to all the same people. It's like something dramatic needs to happen. Obviously, getting the groups back in would be massive and would help. But even on top of that, it's fucking stale. It's super stale, man.
But that doesn't matter to the club or the board. Like habitual attendance.
But the point I was going to make there, Joe, was and which Scott I'm sure will elaborate on, is that there is a large number of fans now who are saying they don't speak for me. Fucking, stop that singing this, stop that singing that. But who will refuse to sing a song themselves or get involved in any singing at all. It's a fucking Scott. You're obviously seeing this from reading your posts and for what you put in the chat, but it's a bizarre set of circumstances we're seeing.
See, like personally speaking, right, the way Celtic are ran the new, I am definitely on the cusp of wrapping it. Like, and I think there must be loads like me. Like, I followed Celtic everywhere for 50 years. When I was 4, I wasn't fucking going home and away. But like, for the best part of like 40 years, I've been going everywhere home and away to watch Celtic. And the custodians that run our football club now, I am actually on the verge of wrapping it.
Jason, how did you feel not being at the Europa League games?
No interest in going to them at all.
Did it bother you at all? I mean, the first one must have been weird. Not like Celtic being at home and you not being there. That kind of happened very often.
Yep. But nah. And do you know what? See, like, Hibs I didn't get a ticket for, right? But then I got offered tickets before it, but I've made plans and I says, no, I don't want them. And the amount of folk I've done favours over the years with tickets, right? And I was a bit pissed off that some weren't coming through for certain games and they didn't come through. And like, for Hearts away, etc., I didn't get. I mean, I reached out to the folk that I've helped before and I didn't get them back. So I'm like, right. So I've now got into a wee bit of a thing that I'm not really too bothered. And I've got to the stage now that I won't go to Ibrox, right? No interested, because not the fact that it's against the aim, but it's like you're basically at Ibrox for 6 hours.
Yeah, terrible experience.
Watch a game of football for an hour and a half. I'm like, no interested. Too old for that. Can't be bothered. Aberdeen, no too bothered because it's a fucking shambles up there when you're in the stadium. You don't get your right seat and you end up storing up the back and stuff like that. But I'll maybe go to Aberdeen the odd time. I'll go to the 2 Dundee games, United and Dundee, because obviously I've got loads of mates in Lockheed, etc. Enjoy that. So I'll be up there next Wednesday. I'll go to Motherwell, obviously. Kilmarnock, you always kind of get a ticket for that. And Livingston. Hibs now, with them cut in half, and that was my favourite away of the season. And obviously, God rest Mark Stacken, he passed away. Big Hibs mate. So, Hibs with a half allocation, nah, maybe duke that. Hearts, probably duke that forever. So, I'll pick and choose. But I'm actually on the verge of wrapping, going to watch Celtic in, to be honest with this board. I'm seriously considering it.
That's
The amount of
shocking.
money I spend, and they just hate us. And I'm actually on the verge of packing it in. Which, whether I'll do it or not, is another matter, because it's fucking my life, Apart from my family, it's all I really fucking think about and care about. But
What annoyed me, and I don't mean to speak out of school here, so if I am speaking out of school, feel free to rein me in. But what annoyed me more was that I know how hard you work to sort loads of people out with tickets, because you've done it for me and millions of other people I know. And when the push came to fucking shove, people did not help you. And I was so fucking angry at that.
aye, but see, it's a really hard ticket. There only is 500 of them, right? So it's not that didn't hold that against them. There's a couple of folk maybe had a wee fucking thing saying, I think you should have sorted because I've sorted folk for Ibrox, Tynecastle, fucking every fucking game, But I just didn't get any tickets for it, but I'm not really that bothered, Marty. I'm older now, so it's like no. So basically, me and Linda booked a wee week in Lanzarote. I was thinking about going to Bologna away. I've not even been to any away Europa League games as well. And I was thinking of going to Bologna. Me and Ellie were going to go. She's raging because I didn't book it. But anyway, Linda's like, why don't me and you get a wee week away? Because we always would go to Lanzarote to my mate's place. And his place is full. But then looked up and there was a decent deal. And so Bologna's on is it the 20th, Liam? 22nd or something?
Yeah, and Jason, please tell Ellie, me and Donna will take her, no problem. If she wants to go, we're happy to take her.
Aye,
That's
a good shout.
Yeah.
She loves dogs. Anyway,
Yeah, we'll take her, no bother, mate, if she's up for going.
So me and Linda are going to Lanzarote, so I'll be over there. The Hearts game at Tynecastle, because I kind of gave up on that now as well. So we'll watch the Hearts game in Tynecastle in Bar 67. And then we play Utrecht at home, which I wouldn't be going to anyway. So, not Liam, I just get into the, I don't know if it's like COVID vibe sort of thing with Celtic. Yeah. And no interest. And and see once you wean yourself off it becomes easier not to go to games. And I don't know, I might wrap it because
that's a fucking alarm bell and a half there.
Totally.
Of all people.
Fucking hell, matey.
Aye, but the custodians that run our club fucking hate us. So,
are we at the point where the Celtic we have invested our lives in and ourselves in to a degree is transitioning to be something other than what we have engaged with over the years? Are we at that point?
Well, I go out and walk the dog every day, obviously a few times a day. And there's a guy, Gus. Gus lives in the same estate as me. And Gus had season tickets in Club Celtic since what year did we move to Hampden? What year was Celtic Park redeveloped?
97?
96,
no,
97.
95. 94, 95.
Right, so Gus had 4 seats in there. I was talking to him this morning about it actually, and I was saying to him my feelings, and he couldn't believe how much the tickets are now, but the tickets are like $2,500 now. When he left in 2003, they were £1,000, or roughly £1,000. So that's how much they've went up, right? So Gus had 4 seats in there, £4,000 for 70, 97 to then. And then the year after Seville, when Celtic didn't spend a penny, they got to Europa League final, and didn't spend a penny, he says, no, do you know what? Fuck he's, I'm no fucking renewing. And do you know he's never set foot in Celtic Park since? Still walks his dog with a Celtic fucking jacket on, never loves Celtic. But he made a deal with himself then. He says, nah, I've gave these fucking thousands over the years. I'm not going back. Supported Celtic all his life. And he's never went back since. But I think, see, once you make that decision and you don't go back, I think, you know me, he's on me. See, if I say I won't go back, I actually won't go back.
Oh, no, you're a decision maker.
Aye. And I'm on the verge. I'm on the verge because I hate the people that run their club.
Yeah,
No, as human beings, but you're daring at debt. Like I absolutely loathe the people that are running our football club.
Yeah, and Jason, go back to Joe's point there, right? You know, Joe, it's a multiple of things, isn't it? Right, society's completely changed, right? The world we live in has completely changed. We still think of Celtic as being full of working class, rebellious supporters, and there's loads of them there, but it's not the bulk of the support anymore.
No,
you know what I mean, and like, you know, Sunday, the march on Sunday, which I'm sure Scott will talk about soon. You know, it's represented by the people. Jason, you and I went on that, went into the lounge afterwards, walked through, and it was fucking mobbed in there. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was clearly almost nobody from there that was bothering their arse to go down, which is fair enough. It's people's prerogative, but I think the makeup of the support society, where everybody is, it's just the whole landscape has changed. And then just on top of that, we've just got an awful fucking group of people running the club just now as well. On top of that.
But it doesn't need to be like this. Is the thing.
But it is like this.
I know, but it
Exactly,
doesn't. But it doesn't need to be like this. It could be.
No.
Right?
Well, Joe, I was talking. Sorry, Jason. Just quickly, I was talking to my pal Jason. You know Jason from Birmingham, right? I was talking to him. I was having a pint with him when I was down last week or the week before, and he was telling me a guy he knows has got a bunch of tickets, like lounge tickets down at Villa, 10 or 12 grand's worth or whatever, and he kind of just held off renewing them until near the deadline. I think the deadline was on a Friday, and his dog had a serious illness that he had to take him for emergency surgery and whatever, and he basically missed the deadline, right? And then he rang Villa the next morning and said, look, had a family emergency the next day, blah, blah, blah. I'm just ringing up now to renew my tickets, 10, 12 grand or whatever. You've missed the deadline, it's done. They're gone, we've sold them. Get away.
I imagine that, aye.
You know, and he's like, right, just didn't care, didn't want to help him, didn't want to do a single thing. You know, American owners are just like, nah, you're gone, and like they're happy that he's gone because they can then probably double the price and sell him to somebody else.
Aye. Oh, they don't care. It's just cutthroat. You realise that the sport and the club that you love just isn't the same anymore. And how much you want to pine for the past, it's never coming back.
What's the Everton experience been like this year, Jason? Now they're in a new stadium.
It's mixed. A load of my older mates fucking hate it.
Yeah.
They just.
Yeah. What's the stadium actually called, Jason? Because I always just call it Bramley-Moore Dock, but it's not called that, no.
It's called the Hill Dickinson Stadium, but everybody calls it Bramley-Moore. But who cares? I couldn't give a fuck about the name of a stadium. See, folk got upset about all that shit. I'm like, who cares? But it's the Hill Dickinson Stadium. They were I think, accountancy firm in Liverpool. They were always Evertonians, and they've sponsored it. So anyway, my mates, they're sitting in their seats and they go down for a pint and they don't even know Andy. Do you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
I would go to Goodison, right? See if I had a ticket in Upper Bullens, I would know where to go for a pint and meet folk.
Yep.
If I was in Upper Gladys, Lower Gladys, I would know where to go. Main Stand, I would know where to go. The Park End, I would know where to go. I would always know everybody, wherever they was. Right? Because obviously I was going to get tickets for different areas of the ground too, a spare season ticket, or if I'd bought a paper ticket or whatever. they get into a new ground, my mates are like, I fucking don't even know anybody. But I suppose it was like at Celtic Park when he started as well. But a load of the older Blues, they fucking hate it. But
And what's the difference number-wise between the two stadiums? Capacity.
Is it 54,000? So Goodison was 40, so there's an extra 14,000.
And have they all gone in as season tickets, or is that kind of like your day trippers or whatever?
There's waiting lists, fucking. No. They keep very. So here's the thing, right? They keep very few back, right? Most of it's season tickets.
Good.
Like Liverpool only half of their stadium season tickets. The rest are day trippers. What Everton do is you need to be a member because everything's digital now.
Yeah.
So if you want a season ticket, you need to pay 30 quid to Everton to get the app to be able to transfer the ticket to you. But you need a season ticket holder to transfer it to you. The other option is you pay 60 quid to Everton and you've got the app, but then you get in a match day ballot that the tickets go to you. So I don't know how many they've kept back for overseas kind of fans. They probably have done that. But it's no like common knowledge how many are kept away for like rich Americans compared to that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's that many.
No, but I guess more so that these new season ticket holders are probably just more people with money, middle class or whatever, more than your kind of working class guy down there.
Well, no, because Goodison had like 10, 12,000 on the waiting list, so they all got their season tickets.
Good. Oh, that's good then. That's good. Just when you said your pals didn't really recognise people around them, is it just a kind of more of a class thing, or just people that just don't know full stop?
Just where they picked their season ticket, and then so basically they're getting in, and all their mates at the other end of the ground, they all realised after they went in. But obviously that's only a few folk. Most folk they've obviously picked their seats where others would be, etc.
Yeah,
it's a cracking stadium. Seamus went down to the game last week. Didn't even tell me he went down last week because he hadn't been. He paid for like hospitality at 300 quid. Next thing he sends me a video, he's storing singing with Peter Reid.
Brilliant.
But it's a cracking stadium. It's brilliant. And see when you go in, see when you're in the concourse, they've got 3 queues. One queue's for lager, one queue's for Guinness, and the next queue's for bitter. And you just, there's loads of folk walking about with plastic tumblers, and you just take one off them. You walk up, stick your card in, it's like, I don't know, 6 quid, cheaper than a pint at Celtic Park.
Yeah.
And you just put your plastic glass in, tap your card, it just fills it up.
Yeah.
So you can actually take 3 tumblers off the lassie or whatever, or the guy that's walking about with it, and just walk up and take 3 pints, and then just walk back, and you're served in seconds. Well, it's like, the queues go down, like, say you're maybe 10 folk in front of you in the queue, you'll have your pint in 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's good, mate. Villa's the same. I've said that a few times when I'm down there. You can go out your seat, have a pint of Marty in your hand in 2 minutes. Do you know what I mean? Really easy.
But they've got like an old type stadium, that's...
Yeah, it's still bars there as opposed to your self-service thing, but still, the fact you can get good quality beers,
Aye, but see, Goodison's like fucking, like, it's all mod cons. No, you walk in and it's fucking, you're only queuing for seconds for certain stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
good.
Everything's like, and it's massive. When you're inside, it's...
Yeah.
You look at that and you look at Celtic Park and you're like, fucking hell, this is a fucking Kazi.
Well, that's it. When we talk about getting the alcohol at Celtic Park, which you could do, but see the upper north stand above where we are. You can't get a cigarette paper in there. Never mind a fucking bar in there.
I know.
So, do you want to cover the march and stuff and the collective stuff? Scott, do you want to kind of touch on that a bit?
On you go, mate. Scott, I think you're on mute.
Fantastic, Scott. That's good stuff.
Go fuck yourself, Joe.
Fuck you.
Hey, what do you want me to say?
Well, we didn't cover Paul Quigley at all.
And the march as well last week.
On the march.
Yeah, the march, I mean, who's were there? The march was... what numbers did you think? I mean, obviously the naysayers were saying there was about 400 at first.
No.
And then the coppers said 2,000. and then somebody'd say to me they were talking about 3,500.
I would say 3,000 easy.
It was good. I mean, like you say, for the day it was pretty damn good, and the banners were all good. I mean, I'm laughing like I've kind of done this. Johnny, Canvas Arts, what a fucking superstar once again, done as a banner. Quick turnaround for it, and I'm thinking I've done well. I've got this banner, it's waterproof and all that. And then these boys are standing there, Shamrock, fashionably late, turned up with a 2-all, it was a peach.
Absolutely, wasn't it?
As soon as I seen it, I was like, look at that, man, brilliant.
What I was a bit disappointed about was I was talking to Ross and that about it as well.
Say that again?
I was disappointed at the amount of clubs that signed up to the collective that didn't do a banner.
Yeah, there was a whole load of people. I didn't say there is people who just, I'll do one and they never ever done it, do you know what I mean? But I'm with you. It is kind of disappointing, but see during the game, man, it was good to see them all floating about. Do you know what I mean? It was.
Yeah.
It would have been, and
I liked the fact they were all homemade. I think that.
A load of them were homemade. Aye.
That added to it, I think, because it means folk have actually put the effort in.
Exactly. Aye. Not like me. Get Johnny to do it for me. But in general, I thought it was really good. It was the match was really good. Obviously, I would have preferred double, treble, quadruple there people there. You know what I mean? But I got a feeling that things are growing, but more due to circumstance rather than common sense, which is frustrating. As I said to kind of go over all ground, the big part of this, I knew it was going to be hard to fight the board, and it was going to be hard to fight Celtic, especially what they've got in their pocket. But I can't believe the amount of Celtic fans who just dismiss you and want to kind of label you and generalise about you and no give you. That's frustrating, do you know what I mean? But I thought it was very good, and aligned. You've already touched on the collection. I thought the collection was outstanding as well. So it was really good, man. Really, really good. That's it.
You know, want to tell us about your speech and stuff like that, Scott? I think you're downplaying your role and all that.
You are. I dislike the humility, Scott.
Aye. So I'm going to put myself on mute now, Scott, and I want you to give us a bit more.
Right,
you voiced the collective video for a start.
By the way, before he starts, this makes me sick, right? Because McCorry is the most. I describe Scott McCorry as the only man I know that has absolutely no ego whatsoever, right? As the amount of messages I've got this last 3 weeks, texts from guys going, holy fuck, Scott, blah, blah, blah. And I know that just washes over Scott's head. So I think we need to appreciate him. All of us do. For the work he's doing. He's doing it because he loves Celtic and no other reason. I haven't had one person going, the way you always get cunts going, that wanker, he's up there, fucking dickhead. Not one person has said that. Everybody has gone. Might not agree with what's going on, but fair fucks to Scott. He's doing it for the right reasons. God bless you, mate.
aye.
Off you go.
That makes me feel fucking even better.
I know that's like
Let's love Scott. Let's love Scott. He's fucking class.
How come you always go to post
Early in
all the
the
time, man?
morning, Scott is always doing whatever the fuck Scott.
Right, no. So regarding Joe Shop, fucking dick, man.
Well done, Joe.
So then,
Better post my path for the young team.
no, the voiceover one was funny though, because as I've said to you before, Gemo, who kind of listens to the show, Gemo's kind of he's pushing me forward today, and I think well, because of this show, we can talk, right? All of us can talk. We're no fear to talk. We're fucking somebody's talk too much, you know what I mean? But in general, we're no fear to talk. So I understand why I kind of get pushed that way, because I'm no fear, and I've got an opinion. loud and all, do you know what I mean? So I kind of get it. But he sent me a message and he says, mate, you want to do the voiceover for this thing, right? And my first instincts are like, why the fuck you want me to do it, do you know what I mean? So like, but I say to him, mate, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it. So, but I was back from Rotterdam on a Friday night, and then on the Monday I'd done it, and I hadn't spoke to anybody all day. So I sat down and done it, and my God, it croaked out, man. It was like, and I started laughing when I was like, I can't even speak right. So I sent it to him and I said, mate, there it is for you, but mate, if you want to get shot at, get somebody else. But see, when I listened back, I was like, I sound like Peter fucking Law here, man. And
it had gravitas, Scott. The gravel had gravitas.
Within seconds, I getting put up. Within the seconds, I getting put up. Somebody went, I thought that was Peter Law talking. How did you get him right? And so everybody's all slaughtered me. But a boy I know sends me a message, and he goes, this old guy sounds like you with kind of sore throat. And I was like, well, that kind of is me with sore throat, you know what I mean? And he's like, no way. But so what happened was, I think there was another fella was going to do, so obviously the fantastic Jeanette was going to talk. And we kind of, again, so there twice I've spoke for the collective in front of things. And twice the speaker's been a problem. For the first time, the speaker was too low. It wasn't good enough. And then the second time, the speaker let us we never got it, so we had to use a megaphone. And if you fucking watch it, the megaphone's shouting it back at me. But Gemel again sends me a message. Like Jason, I'm picking up stuff with Aldi. I'm in Aldi buying tins and all that, trying to find UHT milk. You know what I mean? The worst stuff in the world. And he sends me a message. He says, do you want to speak at this? And I was like, I thought we had somebody. He says, I think the boy's going to be late. And I was like, mate, if you need me to speak, you know the script, I'll do it. So all the way there, I'm thinking, right, what am I going to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to say? And to be honest, any time I've done these talks, I've not really went to any specifics. I've just talked about how a collective Celtic group could be good for us. And I touched on, and I basically went, and Joe, here's a wee segue for it. I know you love that stuff. But I basically spoke of the importance of guys like Paul Quigley and how he's no happy to see any Celtic fan treated badly. Doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter. He thinks that he'll go and represent us, he'll stick up for us, he'll talk for us.
And by the way,
I gave him his.
And by the way, Scott,
Scott, finish.
No, hold on. Before Scott moves off, Paul, people our fucking fans need to remember this, right? Listen to me carefully. Paul Quigley was part of a campaign that had a law struck out of Parliament. The law no longer exists. I have never heard of that anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world where a law no longer exists. Usually laws are tinkered with or changed or adapted or amended. That law that Paul and others, Jeanette and all that whole team, the FAC team, they destroyed a law. These people are not to be underestimated. They are incredible people. Incredible. Paul especially and the team who led that. We are so lucky to have these people walk among us.
Yeah.
Sorry, Scott.
No. I mean, that's basically that was Jeanette kind of. Jeanette does it as well. She speaks well about how important us being together we can be and how strong we can be. And she brought up the instances, Marty. But basically myself, I mean, you'll see it's online now. I mean, I dare say I'll end up getting fucking dogs if you have Huns and stuff like that. But alas, that's part of the gig now, and I'm fucking big enough and ugly enough to kind of take that. But that's all I kind of led. I kind of just try to bump people up and go, right, the collective isn't about egos. You know what I mean? There's no fucking egos flying about here.
Eagles
as usual, you're doing yourself a massive disservice.
Totally.
Correct, Jason.
Understanding all of it. Scott, at the end
Well
of the day,
said, Jason.
listen, Paul Quigley is a really impressive human being, right? For a guy who I think I've met twice, quite a quiet guy, reserved fella, but no fear and smart as all fuck, right?
Wild, innit?
Switched on to fuck.
I mean, like whip smart.
Are we allowed to say what happened
What do you mean?
with the meeting with Paul?
Aye,
Did he do
that's-
You talking on the podcast, mate?
They refused to let another man in to fucking take his notes from him.
Right, I know, but here's the thing, right? All things that we've heard about this went to, you don't want to call it a stitch up or a fix up, right? Essentially, it was, I suppose.
Stitch up and a fix up.
But the thing is, you're getting away from
But if-
Scott.
But if you, I know, no, I want to get to Scott on that one as well. Scott, again, you're right, Jason, he's underselling himself. Scott, you're a pivotal part of a lot of these things, right? And that's important, right? And please don't shy away from that because it is important.
I think you're one of the main folk in the collective now, Scott, which is brilliant. And I tell you what,
I can tell you were laughing.
no, I'm not laughing at all. And like, see, Gemmel's a great guy, right? Jeanette is absolutely brilliant, and like the people that are involved in it. And I see some posts that the folk on the huddle board and all that. I think there should be more transparency, right? So I think I don't really know, but I think the collective maybe need to do a bit more self-promoting of who is on the committee or whatever, because you always kept saying, I'm a soldier, I'll do what I'm told. Load of shite. You are fucking pivotal to that campaign because you speak really well and you speak for everybody that's there because you're just one of us. And that's what people want. They want a Celtic fan that's there. And you're not a daft guy. You're a clever guy. You're not as clever as Paul Quigley, right?
No.
Fuck that.
Right, or Jeanette, right? But the thing is, you could potentially win a debate with you, right? So everybody, but you couldn't win a debate with they two. But the thing is, you actually stand up there and you speak for everybody because you're just a normal Celtic supporter. And everybody that listens to this knows you're just a normal Celtic supporter, but you do yourself a big disservice by playing Everton down because, and that's admirable because that's the type of guy you're, right? But I don't think you should undersell yourself here because you're doing an amazing thing for this football club, and the guys in the boardroom will fucking hate you for it. But the real Celtic, which is us, it's the fans. We are Celtic. No, the fucking absolute fucking imbeciles that run their club at this minute. They're fuck all to do with Celtic as far as I'm concerned. They're just fucking getting a wage and fucking making plenty of money off us. But we are Celtic. And you're the voice of fucking probably millions now, mate. So I think you should actually take a wee step back and think about that.
Right, well, so let's move on.
Remember the bit earlier on? Jason Wright saying that the fucking cunt has no ego? Well, there we go. But I totally agree. I completely agree with you, Jason. We have special people in our
Aye.
Right, so move on. I mean, so we done.
Well, that ball watching, fuck's sake.
Right, well, we done the Paul Quigley thing there, right? So, Joe, what was your opinion on it? So, obviously, me and Jason went on, and I actually thought, I mean, Jason, it's probably the least me and you have ever spoken a podcast. You know what
I know.
But I was glad you were on it to just give that different perspective and kind of query it and stuff like that. But Joe, I mean, Marty, obviously, I'm thinking you've not listened to it, but Joe, what did you think of it? I mean, obviously, I dare say you've read all the stuff beforehand, but
Yeah.
hearing it, it's fucking wild, isn't it?
I read the Fairhouse report. I read the PDF that was sent around. I read all that, and I was lucky this week. I was on the road a lot in the car, so I had this. I listened to the whole podcast in the car when I was traveling around Dublin, and I was just kind of astounded at parts, going like, this fella was essentially sent in to a place at a meeting whereby the cops were going to talk to him. Nobody else said a word in his defense. Nobody was behind him. He was essentially an independent party, brought in solo to sit there. And when he started explaining, like, you know, the video was buffering and they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that, I'm like going like, how seriously were they treating this?
Aye.
Like, how seriously are they treating this? Like, people fucking have people have been harassed by the police over this, and these fuckers can't even treat the meeting seriously enough to have the Wi-Fi working. I was like, oh my god. And here's the thing about Paul. See me in that moment. I'm sure all of us are the same. I would find it hard to keep the disdain off my face. I would find it very hard not to react to that level of fucking incompetency. And just in that moment, just in that very moment, because you would go in there in good faith. And Paul's a guy, I think, that, you know, employs his life in terms of good faith. And the fact that he had to kind of go through that and walk out and have to communicate to us how fucking, like, I mean, I don't even think he was able to communicate how bizarre it was for him. When I listened to it, I was like, if that was me, I'd be pulling my hair out, going like, what the fuck just happened to me? What was I subjected to there? Because there was no end result. There was no clarification. There was no closure. There was nothing. Essentially, it was what we said before about the meetings that they've had before. Have meetings to say you've had meetings.
But
and then part of that.
The fact that Celtic Football Club reps there sat like fucking mutes, that's so worrying.
But doesn't that tell you everything you should probably need to know?
Aye.
That's the fact that they didn't speak speaks more than anything else.
You'd one fan representative there on his own, couldn't take notes because he was thinking about what he was going to have to say next against 3 police representatives.
When he was told there was going to be 2.
Aye, exactly.
Well, you say 3, I mean, but basically that boy at Celtic's a fucking just a copper, isn't he?
Aye, well, exactly.
See if you sat down and explained the kind of structure and connections that we kind of see, which might be conceived as conspiratorial or whatever the fuck, right? In terms of the connections of the people that are employed in security now at Celtic and Police Scotland, and the kind of connections that can be, you know, conceived, right? See, I explained that to a guy this week at my work that doesn't have any connection to this, and he was like, "Well, that doesn't make any sense." He said, "Like that appears to me that they're all connected." I was like, "Yeah, doesn't it?"
See,
no fucking dog in the fight.
Seeing a normal fucking situation, right? Celtic should be demanding the meetings with the police to fight on their fans' behalf.
Yeah.
Paul Quigley shouldn't need to be there. Celtic has a fucking right to protect their supporters against police brutality.
Jason, I've been travelling to see Celtic, right, for 33 years. And we used to go on the fucking buses, right? And the buses would be pulled over and individuals would have been taken off the buses and fucking held for no reason, right? And just to fucking harass Celtic fans and to delay us getting to the matches in the hope that they would let us go with just enough time in the hope that there would be traffic in Glasgow so we would miss the game. It happened hundreds of times when I was on buses. I'm telling you now, fucking hundreds of times.
I can imagine.
And at that time, everybody used to say, we'll get on to Celtic and they'll fight our corner and they'll push us. Right? people used to say this out loud, right? And as a
Excuse me while I fucking wet myself.
as a 15-year-old, I used to go, what? What the fuck? Not once did Celtic fight our fucking case or say, why are you doing this? You know exactly who's on the buses. They have to fucking fill out a manifest for the boat in case the boat fucking sinks. So everybody's name is on the manifest before you even fucking get on that boat. If that boat sinks in the middle of the Irish Sea, the ferry company knows everybody who's on it. And not once, ever, ever did Celtic ever fucking lift the phone to any cunt and plead our case. They didn't give a fuck. They did not care
Mm-hmm.
a single fuck.
They
And
fucking hate us.
and hold on. I'm going back to the old board here. I'm not even talking about
And it's no changed.
the present group of fuckheads who run this club who do not care about us. Like, this is going back. I started traveling in 1982. I don't travel as much now as I used to. I would travel every week if I could. And I've said it on here before, like, no personal circumstances enters into it. You're a Celtic fan to me, you're a Celtic fan. But you go once a year, 20 times a year. I'm not really into Uber fans and all that shit because I have my own circumstances to deal with. I have tried to pay for what I regard as poorer fans to travel because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do to get as many of the Celtic family into that park once a year, twice a year, 20 fucking times a year as best you can. You know? So it's a special place. The people who run our club don't give a fiddlers and never have. And it's one of the things that destroys me as a Celtic fan. We've never built on any sort of a plateau of success. We've always reverted to type through our entire history. We're coming up, it'll be 150th anniversary soon. Nothing changes. Nobody cares. See, for me to hear you talking about this the way you're talking tonight, Jason, it is totally depressing. It actually racks me. Actually fucking racks me because this is our club. We need complete change. It might take 5 years, it might take 10 years. Holy God, we need to change this club.
See, but I don't think it'll ever change because I take me back now, right? So fucking I was a right good fucking snooker player, right? And I would like I'd get to like the fucking quarter-finals of some Scottish tournament. Celtic were playing Rangers, and I wouldn't even go to it. I would go to the football. And I would come in, my dad would be fucking raging with me. And he's like, Celtic wouldn't give you the smell after shite, son. They've no interest in you. All they care about is getting the money off you. And my dad was a Celtic supporter, right? But he played football and he was mates with Tommy Gemmell. And like he knew the Lisbon Lions and he grew up in that era. And he's like, they fucking don't care about it. And that was a day when football clubs totally fucking took the piss with players. Do you know what I mean? They were paying them fucking a cut. They were getting probably double the wages of a normal working man, but they only had a shelf life up until they were like 30, 31 or whatever. And my dad's like, they fucking hate you. They're no interest. And he was a Celtic fan, right? But he was wise to it. He played with Motherwell and played with Motherwell like their youth team sort of thing. And he went down to London and he was still signed with Motherwell. And his mate John Boyle for Craig Newt was a big Chelsea player. So my dad ran about with him and they were at some beach with a load of Chelsea players and they were playing football on the beach. It just shows you how different football is nowadays because hardly anybody would have known who they were because there obviously wasn't TV and stuff like that. And there was a guy watching them play and he was a Middlesbrough scout and he asked my dad, he says, would you come for a trial? Because he knew a couple of Chelsea players. My dad's like, well, aye, if you want, whatever. Went for a trial and So they were going to offer my dad a contract. My dad was making more money as an electrician as they were going to offer him to play with Middlesbrough. So it's totally different, right? But my dad always did this thing about football clubs don't give a fuck about you. They're just the guys that run it are just fucking ripping the piss and getting fucking people into their stadiums to give them money, to give them a fat wage, which is fucking bang on, and it's no changed. And that's basically what football clubs are. And see this pish that Celtic's a club like no other.
A load of fucking dick.
Fuck off.
It makes as much fucking sense. It makes as much fucking sense as them selling Green Brigade tifos in this club fucking shop.
An absolute fucking... The fans, 100%, we are an amazing fan base. Although we've got fucking some amount of fucking wankers for it as well. But at the end of the day, it's a broad church. When I look at Athletic Club, they are a club like no other. They can genuinely say that. And they are a club like no other. But Celtic, they're just the fucking same as the rest of them.
Jason, I want to come back on that for a second. But just before I do, I want to mention that the fundraiser, right? We've had four decent, really big donations tonight. But I think you maybe mentioned this before, but for people donating, just watch, because GoFundMe defaults and takes a chunk of the money of your donation. Right, it sets a default to what they're going to take there, and that's coming off what's coming into the pot to go out to people here. So just kind of, as people, and we really appreciate what people are putting forward, but just kind of keep an eye on that, because it's taken a little bit of a chunk off the top. But we're £80 away from £5,000 just now, which is,
for fuck's sake, folks. Listen, if you're listening to me, give me. If you're listening to me, give me a fiver. Give me £4. Fucking help us hit $5,000 before Jason Higgins fucking jumps off something high. Give us fucking... Help us out. Help us out.
Then Marty,
give us £3.
Listen,
£3
folks,
wouldn't fucking
folks,
give me
there-
£3.
there's
£3, that's all I'm asking.
There's 4 lounge tickets going to be available in January. Right?
Exactly, right? £3 could fucking make a difference here. Hurry up.
Listen, we spent £80 on a carry out tonight on the show. We could have just fucking chucked that in the pot there, and we could have done
You
it.
better hurry up. I'm on my last can here.
But here, how class would it be? We've talked bollocks here for hours. We always make the point, right? The homeboys are an acquired taste. We understand that. We're not here trying to be the voice of the Celtic fans. We're just here to be the voice of ourselves. If you enjoy it, if you're in the fucking bullshit festival or in the comments, we'll love you. It's great crack. We just do this for fun, but don't do it. We're not trying to tell people how to think. We're not uber Celtic fans. We're just trying to get a Friday night, end of the week, either a preview of the game or a chat about the match that happened. But at this time of year, it's really, really, really poignant. Give us a fucking few quid. Give us a 5 or a 10 or £15, £3, whatever you have. Fire it in, because the buzz that we get out of fucking handing that money out is noxious. It's outstanding. It's brilliant. We try and help people to give them a Christmas that we would all want. Do you know what I mean? If we ever fell down in hard times, you would like to think that somebody from the Celtic family would knock your door, would send somebody to your door.
If you ever didn't get what you wanted at Christmas as a kid, which I did, right, at times, never get what I wanted, right, you'll understand what we're doing.
Do you know what I want at Christmas every year and I never got it? A full box of Panini fitness stickers.
Jason, I got 2. One year, my dad bought them in the pub, right? The World Cup sticker books. He got 2 sticker books, 2 full boxes, and didn't even come fucking close to filling one of them. Honestly, true story. True story.
You know, Liam, I filled a book. Do you know what pissed me off? The English First Division at the time, they had full pages, but fucking the Scottish, only half a page.
Crammed in. That's right.
See the end of the book, fucking raging.
Actually, one year, I wanted the Jackson 5 cassette box set, right? And I got it, right? But my younger brother was a toddler at the time, and he ate all 5 tapes. The cunt.
That explains a lot, Joe.
Aye. Do you know what? The cunt hasn't stopped eating my tapes. That's my life.
Right, listen, I
Yeah.
want to jump back to 2 minutes, Jason, what you were saying there about more than a club, right? So I mentioned earlier in the year or last year, whatever, that I thought Celtic should have embraced the whole Palestinian thing, right, and put themselves in a position that trying to create that unique club thing. But obviously, Athletic Club, they played, or they hosted a game against the Basque Country against the Palestine.
It was Euskadi Selecciones played
Right.
for Basque Country.
Okay, so you can articulate it far better than me, but I just interested to hear whatever you heard from that, feedback from your friends and whatever might have been there.
Oh, fucking everybody was there. I mean, obviously, but not just that. When Athletic Club played their home game, they invited the refugees from Gaza onto the park. You know, and
Incredible.
The full San Mamés outside, because they've got the stadium similar to Bayern Munich's. You know, it's the big lit up outside. It's a big dome, and the full dome was a Palestinian flag all the way around it. And obviously, you've been in the Basque Country yourself. You see the support for Palestine there. It's like nowhere else on earth.
Correct.
And they invited the families on with flowers, etc., and the reception they got. But then, obviously, the Basque government this is nothing to do with Athletic Club. So they either play the game at Barrial's game or San Mamés when Euskadi Selecciones play. So. And by the way, apology for the pronunciation if anybody that speaks fluent Basque is listening to the podcast. So they play. They're obviously not a recognised national football team, but they play international games, but no under the UEFA or FIFA banner. And they played a game against Palestine at San Mamés, and it was unbelievable. I wasn't there, but Tony was there, a good mate of ours. And all my mates were there, Euseba, everybody was there, all the boys were there, and just said it was unbelievable. You know, I think the Basque Country won 3-1. I can't remember the exact score, but they said it was just unbelievable, and the feeling the Palestinian players had for the Basques was just second to none. And as I say, Athletic Club to me, they are a club like no other, and we don't come close to it. But we could be if we were ran by the right people. Athletic Club, they've embraced the Palestinian people. They've invited them onto their park. And what's wrong with that? You know, why are we thinking that there's something wrong with that? There's a people there that's been a victim of genocide, and we are not prepared to embrace that. Where I would say the vast majority of our fans support that cause, yet Celtic as a football club just keeps it at arm's length for whatever reason. Make your own mind up.
Yeah.
It disgusts me.
Yeah, I remember you put that statement on Facebook a while back, maybe last year or whatever, and I was quite annoyed at the time when you said it, but it's 100% true.
So
they are but just that the Athletic Club are a club like no other, like a mile ahead of Celtic and others as well, and it's 100% true.
Oh, without a doubt. We're just a normal football club. We're supported by amazing people.
Yeah.
You know, that we want to keep the feeling that we've got for the club together, and loads of our fans are, to me, correctly politically minded. But the club, they're so far away from us, it's unbelievable. We're just a normal football club. We're no difference from Macclesfield Town. You know, we've just got a bunch of guys that want to make money. that run our club.
I don't think that's a bit harsh. I think we are distinctively different. You know, we've got an amazing history and amazing support there, but just not.
But for the guys that run our club, are they any different for the directors?
Oh no, no, fair enough. No, not the people in charge. No, not at all.
And the thing is, as well, they've got a fucking gift horse there. That if they ran the fitness club correctly, it would be a fucking cash cow for them that they couldn't believe. And back to the point that we are ran by fucking imbeciles.
Wrap it up, the fuck.
Do you not agree with me?
Oh, I completely agree with you. 100%.
Right?
100%. Wrap it up, the fuck.
So Sunday.
So we've exhausted our moans, I think, boys. I think we've exhausted all the negative we have.
I've not even spoken about Sunday yet.
Yeah, Sunday.
Right. Well, what's the hope?
What team are going to play?
Well, roll the dice.
You only have one. No, it's not roll the dice. It's the fucking same team you play at the Hornet.
Oh, no chance.
No.
The team's down to bare bones. You're paying who you have.
If we play the same team as we played last night, I'll be double fair.
Right. If St. Wilfred starts off with the same team that he started the last two games, I'm seriously considering no going into the game. You look at the second half against Roma, and albeit they were probably in second gear or whatever, but it was far more balanced. And you need to play any Acho up front, and you need to put my head out on the left, and you need to just drop to Tonecki. Yang, I don't know who could replace him, but the way he's gone with the three at the back, I don't know. Do you play KT up on the left and play Don? But I think you need to play Donovan at the right of the back three.
I think if you want somebody to run up and down the pitch in a wing back position, you're going to need Donovan to do it because he's young.
He's got the engine to do it, Joe. But for me, Mieda's got to be one of them. You know, whichever side you choose to do, you need to be playing Mieda there because he can do up and down the whole thing. I know his crossing's poor and whatever, but he can do that whole role.
Would you play maybe KT in the left and Mieda on the right?
I thought that earlier, Jason. Then you could put Donovan in on the right side of the three in defence and just Scales and Trusty the other two.
Right. Would you consider Bernardo starting? Because to be honest with you, he's looked really good.
Alongside McGregor, that'd be mine too.
Right. Nygren, just get him off the AFCON.
He'll probably score the winner on Sunday.
Here's the thing, though. Nygren's been effective. He just hasn't been impressive.
Yeah. He'll probably score the winner.
Yeah. He's kind of one of those right time, right place guys.
I think you play Bernardo and McGregor in the middle. You play Engels and Hattati in front of them, even though they're a bit out of sorts in that position in Iacho, and I think that's probably the strongest team in this formation that we've got.
So see when you're playing Bernardo, who are you dropping then?
You're playing Bernardo next to McGregor.
Hattati
Engels ahead of him. So Nygren's coming out of the team from that.
Right. So Bernardo in for Nygren. Yeah.
I'm not sure Engels is good playing that one step forward, Jason. So maybe Bernardo would play because he kind of plays 3-4-2-1. I think is the way he sets it up.
I'm starting to feel that Engels' potential has been floundered at Celtic. Honestly, I feel like the player that could have been
No, but in the past, forget since Nancy's come in, but he's been really good under Martin O'Neill.
Yeah. But that is part of the purple patch, no?
No, that's what he's capable of doing. It's not a fluke.
I know it's not a fluke, but it's not. But like, I feel like his potential hasn't been tapped. It really frustrates me. It really does. Because there's definitely a quality player there. There definitely is.
I would agree.
But anyway, we're 2 hours and nearly 45 minutes in. Not a breathtaking.
6 minutes to go, Joe. Might as well get to 3 hours while we're here.
Give us your fucking money.
Where are we?
It hasn't moved, so obviously everyone's asleep. Everyone's fucked off.
You can't fucking blame me. Fuck me. Yeah.
No, me either. Listen, tomorrow morning it'll smash through that 5.
Right. Predictions for Sunday.
Oh, 2-1 Celtic.
No heartache.
Crazy. Just want Celtic to win. Give us something
2-1
fucking...
Celtic. What's your skip?
3-1 to Celtic.
3-1 Scott. You're on mute, by the way.
I'm not getting involved in this charade.
Yeah, fucking shit.
I'm gonna go 1-0.
1-0.
Yep.
I'm gonna go 5-1.
To who?
Good question, Joe.
The famous. And this is going to be Wilfred Nancy is going to just let everybody know he's arrived.
I love your affirmation and your confidence.
Yeah.
Fucking see.
Well, because I think St Mirren will fancy the job, and they've been bloody brilliant against us nearly every time we've played them. And I think all the rumours coming out about Nancy's lost the dressing room and all this kind of thing. Players have got personal pride. We've got better players than them. And I reckon the players will be out there. Let's face it, he's our manager going forward, right? And all this pish that they're going to sack him after 4 games or something, it's not going to happen. The board, never mind about the catastrophe, why we've got him and stuff like that, with Tisdale, etc. These players have got personal pride, and we are far better football players than St Mirren. And these guys want a medal, and I reckon they will do it. Come on!
There you go, folks. You heard it here first. Kenny?
Could be. What's your plans? Are you doing the usual, a little local boozer by the ground?
Aye.
Yeah, I'll get you there before or after one of them.
Big Adlers is meeting Big Adelante.
Right, good. Right, I'll definitely come. We'll get you down there, definitely.
Yep, we'll be in there early doors.
Right,
Probably
so we're positive. We're positive. We're feeling good, yeah.
Feeling good. Don't know about that. I'm ready to wrap in Celtic for life, so.
The
I
fuck
feel a
that?
lot better than I did at the start of the show. Put it that way. A lot better.
Yeah. I told you I would rally you round, boys.
It's one of those things. You have to exercise the frustration.
As Johnny Mackay says, no doom and gloom.
Yeah, he's not
Johnny Mackay's never been on this podcast, let's be honest.
I used to be a podcast king back in the day.
Aye,
Long time ago.
What was that podcast called again?
Luke
Shamrock or something?
Carl Luke's, that's it. Yeah. He was on pretty regular.
What was it called? It wasn't Temporary Stand. That was Scott and Marty.
That was Scott and Marty, yeah.
That was a good one. The Carl Luke Shamrock. Remember the American guy? Hail, the Carl Luke Shamrock.
That's right. That's back. I was back in the hot days of fucking Celtic podcast when every cup was there.
Pierre doing that, the crossover, a Hail Media crossover.
Like I said, every cup was there.
headed out to fucking Carl Luke. Fuck me, man. Never been back. Fuck
Do you know
that.
what?
Oh,
I played Paul Larkin's book launch at Carluke, and I rang Jason. I just went, "What are you going to do at Carluke?" I said, "I go to the cinema," and he goes, "The cinema?"
So I'm pretty sure you went to the toll booth for most of the day, and then went
to the toll booth. Slept in a car with Naz Mohammed on the way to Carluke.
By the way, I met Naz on Sunday for the first time ever.
Good lad. Good lad.
He introduced himself.
Naz.
But you're saying you went to Carl Luke, what did you do? I walked around the roundabout for 2 hours.
I didn't realise it was that remote. Right? Here, what's that wee small pub they have though?
the Thacket.
Fucking cracking wee pub.
The wee Thacket. It was good boozer, wasn't it?
Brilliant, man. Brilliant.
By the way.
It's like being in your granny's fucking parlour.
Aye.
It's like being in Hanratty's.
By the way,
Aye, it is.
I've got a dirty secret to tell you now, right? I don't listen to any Celtic podcasts, but I've started listening to one. See that RGC one, the right good cunts. The boys put it on the huddle board, so I started listening to it, and they're
Jason, I
kinda like.
recommended it to you fucking months ago, and you listened to it. Did
it? Right. but here's the point. I reckon see one of the guys in it, right? I've not actually asked him yet. I think he sits behind me at Celtic Park, right behind me, with the seat behind me. Because the guy's talking and I'm like, that's him. I'm pretty sure it is.
What man?
Well, the guy from Glasgow, obviously, because there's one that lives down Leeds.
No, it's not Jim.
Jim,
yeah.
No, big Remy. Big Chris Dornley.
Yeah. It could be him, Jason, because he speaks quite well of us, so I think it could be him.
Well, let's go after him. Let's go after him. We cancel that podcast. Fucking go.
Has he got a baldy head?
But not like.
No, it's not him.
Fantastic heater here.
Nah, it's not him then. There's a guy behind me, the exact same voice as him. I'm like, I wonder if that's him. I looked round. Nah, so it's not him then.
It's funny because I listened to it this week. Yeah. I listened to it this week as well. I really like what they do, but I think they're probably the closest to what kind of set up there. But I was trying to think earlier. I don't know if anybody else.
The top is there. That's the top. That's the top there. That's the top going.
Fuck that.
I don't think any of the podcast drinks so heavily through the podcast, though, do they?
I don't think they drink at all on the podcast.
Well, you know what? I think we're the only podcast that does this.
Yeah, I think so. That's a good, unique selling point.
That's the best.
Wrap it up, the fuck.
Folks, we're done. 3 hours now.
Yep.
We haven't done 3 hours in a long time.
It's my welcome back, Joe, my reunion tour.
That's what I said before. That's what I said before. I says this feels like a fucking lockdown podcast coming up.
Liam Power back with the labour of love.
That's it. Bringing some calm to the group, mate. That's it.
And by the way, if Skip mentions again Nancy's formation, fucking hell.
It's pretty important, Jason. It's pretty pivotal into the whole.
No. It is, but I think that's about 8 times I've heard it now, but the listeners only heard it for the first time, so it's very important you got it out there.
I'll find you Sunday and remind you again one more time.
See if 6 months down the line, Jason goes, Nancy's formation was fucking pish.
Of course, Joe. Of course.
It'll be hauled back out of the fucking.
By the way, don't disagree him, but see when you hear it 8 times,
the pedantic provo is on you.
It's in the bank, Joe. It's been tagged. It's in the memory bank.
He said only 2 or 3 times. And I says, well, you've mentioned it here. And you said to me twice at the game, if I Google or I do some searching or thing with any others.
You're only on 4. Nowhere near 8. 4.
It's like watching a Chuckle Brothers feud. Folks sake.
Without the hair.
When have you ever seen the Chuckle Brothers feud?
Now. Folks,
minus the hair, Joe.
That was good crack. I enjoyed that. Hail. Talk to you soon.
Hail.
Send your
Give
money
us your fucking money. Give us a favour.
Yeah. Fuck a post office.